Hello everyone and welcome to the Sports Corner YouTube channel for the Champions League live watch-alongs of the second leg ties between Chelsea and Porto and Paris Saint-Germain. It's a little bit of a different setting tonight. I'm joined by Will. Hello there, Will.
Hi, man. How are you doing?
You looking forward to watching Chelsea Porto tonight, lad?
I am. I just hope that Porto, get the early goal, make the game interesting. Because obviously it's 2-0 Chelsea, the first leg score. So I think the worst thing would be Chelsea to score tonight and kill it off within the first 5 minutes. So I'm hoping for Porto to get that early goal and make it interesting, but we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, and speaking of that game, I'm going to get the lineups on the screen right now. If you'd just like to read through the teams, Will, if you can do that for me.
Yeah. So Chelsea, as always, since Tuchel took over, they've been playing 3 at the back. And it's the exact same side. They've got Mendy in goal once again. Since signed him, taking over from Kepa, he's been brilliant in goal. From the back 3 is Rudiger, Thiago Silva, and Azpilicueta. The wing backs, Ben Chilwell and Reece James. 2 central midfielders of N'Golo Kante and Jorginho, and the front 3 is Pulisic, who got 2 goals at the weekend. Kai Havertz and Mason Mount, who was it's fair to say has had a pretty good season for Chelsea so far. And on the bench, you've got the likes of Tammy Abraham, you've got Alonso, Timo Werner, Kurt Zouma, Giroud, Hudson-Odoi, Ziyech. So it just goes to show that this Chelsea team has a lot of depth, and obviously our favourites come into the game tonight. So yeah, I think it's a pretty good lineup for Chelsea.
Yeah, that front 3 has been on fire for Porto. But speaking of the forwards for Porto, I know Kieren wasn't happy with Mediterranean not starting, but this is Porto's lineup.
Yeah. So it's not many changes in the Porto lineup. I've got Marche in goal, the back 4 Zaidu, Pepe, who I still can't believe he's playing at the level he is, to be honest, but fair play to him. And Bemba, he's pairing him with Manafort at right back. 3 midfielders of Matthews, Marco Gruitch, Liverpool legend, and Sergio Oliveira, who's had a very good season for the Portuguese side. Then the front 3 is Otavio, Musa Marega, the legend, and Tecatito. I think I said his name right.
Yeah, also known as Jesus Corona. So
yeah, I don't know why.
I think you said it perfectly. Like for Porto, the job for them is get the early goal. And try and make this tie interesting, because if Chelsea get the first goal, it's probably over. But we'll move on to PSG Bayern Munich, and this is the PSG lineup. They've got Navas in goal, Danilo and Kimpembe, 2 centre halves that finished the game last week against Bayern Munich because of that injury to Marquinhos. Left back Diallo, right back Colin Dagba, midfield 2 of Garnagate and Paredes, Neymar in that number 10 role, Di Maria and Draxler flanking wide, and then Mbappe, who's probably the man of the moment at the moment. Bagging those 2 goals last week to give PSG a 3-2 advantage. On the bench, they've got Rico Saidani, I think that is, Barca, Florenzi, Kehrer, Pembele, Herrera, Rafinha, Verratti, Keane, and Nogueira, and Sarabia. But for Bayern Munich, it is pretty much they've got an injury crisis on at the moment. Bayern Munich, it can only field 7 substitutes. And there's not many recognisable names amongst those 7 substitutes. I'm pretty sure they're unchanged from the last time they played. So they've got Neuer in net, Pavard at right back, Boateng and Hernandez as your 2 centre-halves, left back Davis, midfield 2 of Kimmich and Alaba, Sané and Koeman flanking Muller, who is just behind Choupo-Moting. And on the bench, there is Nubel, Martinez, Sarr, Nianzou, Musiala, Stanisic and Zeiser. From that bench, there's probably only about 4 or 5 people that you've heard of before. So, yeah, Bayern Munich at the moment are in a little bit of an injury crisis. But both the games should be underway, Will, if I'm right.
Yeah, my game's about 1:30 in, mate.
Sound. So, with these games tonight, we're hopefully expecting some goals. I think, again, I've probably got the tie of the night, if I do say so myself. But Kyle is in the building. He says, hey, Kieran, Will, and all, how is everyone doing tonight? I am fine, and I assume you're all right as well, Will.
Yeah, I'm doing fine, mate. I'm happy that the lockdown in the UK is starting to get lifted now, so there's a bit of normality now. So yeah, I'm doing completely fine, mate. You are too.
Yeah, I'm fine, mate. I'm looking forward to watching this game because just 2 brilliant sides, probably the 2 favourites to win the Champions League coming into it as well. Unfortunately, they've been put up against each other, but either of these 2 sides look like they're going to be playing either Manchester City or, well, you can't write out Dortmund. But either Manchester City or Dortmund in the next round, of course. Which Rowan, are you back again tomorrow, Will? Are you doing the watch-along tomorrow for Liverpool?
I think someone else will be covering that game because I think I'll be watching my dad because I remember when Liverpool played Barca, I wasn't able to catch the first leg. I watched it on my own, and obviously we took that 3-0 loss. But then I remember watching it with Mum and Dad, and we came back 4-0. So I think someone else will be covering that game because I think we're watching it with Dad just in case there's a major comeback. I don't want to go 2 men on stream. But But I think someone else will be covering that. I said to Josh there yesterday, I'll let someone else cover it because I didn't want to cover 2 games consecutive days. That's all.
Yeah, that's fair enough. But PSG have got a ball down the line, and Mbappe has the freedom of the Parc des Princes to shoot and go right across the goalkeeper. And it's a really good chance early on for PSG to extend their lead. 2.5 minutes in, it's a brilliant pass from Neymar down the line. Mbappe is in behind that Bayern back four, which we've been talking about last week. Me and Kieren were saying that they're so vulnerable to the counter-attack. Another example of that there, but Mbappe flashes his shot wide. But early signs for Bayern Munich. Any early signs in your game?
Not many early signs, but Kai Havertz has gone down, holding his head. He's gone to jump for a header with Pepe. And in typical Pepe style, he's thrown his elbow out and caught Havertz in the head. Tuchel's absolutely fuming. He's saying it should be a free kick. I think the referee's given a drop ball. I think the referee saw it as a collision of heads. Pepe has clearly elbowed him. But only 3 minutes in, that's the main action we've had so far. Neither side has had a shot so far. Just obviously both sides trying to find the feet in the early stages. But so far, Kai Havertz, I mean, he's playing as more of a direct number 9 again tonight. I don't know what you think, Kieren. I personally just don't see him as that type of player. I think he'd be better suited to play behind a striker. What do you think?
Yeah, there's definitely that element to his game. I know he played a few times like that at Leverkusen, but at the moment, Chelsea just don't have a striker that scores goals. They've got Tammy Abraham on the bench, which Thomas Tuchel just refuses to play him.
Yeah.
I don't know why, because under Frank Lampard, he looked a different player. Refuses to play him. Timo Werner's obviously having a really bad season. And he prefers Kai Havertz down there. Maybe it gives him something else and allows Pulisic and Mount to play wide, which I know he likes. But like you said, Kai Havertz is a number 10 after all. He's not a false 9 or a number 9. He can't really play that role well. He plays best when he can feed balls through to someone, or when he's just behind someone he can make runs off. But yeah, I don't really know what's happening with Chelsea at the moment, because they're playing really well, but they just can't score goals. That's the thing. Reliably anyway.
That's the thing. And it seems like the rest of the squad is the depth. The rest of the squad, especially the defence, is absolutely ridiculous. You think Chelsea in the summer, if they can get that top tier striker in, you'd have to look at them for title contenders without a doubt. With the way Tuchel's took over the squad in such a short period of time, got on playing how he wants to play. I think Chelsea could be contenders next season if they can bring in, maybe. I know the rumours of Haaland, maybe with a swap deal with Werner and cash included, obviously. But only time will tell.
I think that'd be a good move. But there's a ball into the box by Pavard to Koeman. He's had to go wide to get the ball. Kingsley Coman, of course, had a decent game last week. Comes back to Alphonso Davies, who didn't start last week. Takes inside one man, plays a little ball into Alaba. It gets blocked. Davies back on the edge of the area though. Back to Pavard. Slowed down a little bit for Bayern Munich now, but they need a goal. They need to score tonight. Well, actually, they need 2 tonight, don't they? So if they get 1, that won't be enough. They need 2 goals tonight, Bayern Munich, if they want to defend their European Championship. But that ball's going out of play. We have got some more comments. Kyle says, just saw the stats before kickoff. Bayern dominated PSG with 31 shots to 6, 12 to 4 on target. Surely, if they repeat that, they must score. It was literally a slaughter fest last week for Bayern Munich, but they just couldn't put the ball in the net for all the chances that they had. I mean, I know Choupo-Moting scored, but half of the chances that fell to him, you're thinking Robert Lewandowski is going to gobble all those up. Did you watch the Bayern Munich game last week?
I did, mate, yeah. And to be honest, I thought that it was just very, very silly mistakes that you don't really see Bayern make, in my personal opinion anyway. I mean the goal that Neuer let in, against Mbappe is near post. You just don't see Neuer really making the mistakes. I know it was a powerful shot, but you'd think Neuer would save that. And even the Marquinhos score, I know it's a fantastic ball in by Di Maria, but the way the Bayern defenders kind of fell asleep and didn't get out quick enough, which left him on side, I thought that was very, very uncharacteristic. I didn't think they conceded 3 goals at home, but when you've got the players like PSG out attacking, you can't expect him to keep a clean sheet against the likes of Mbappe and whatnot. So I was surprised that PSG got such a good result, but I also wouldn't be surprised if Bayern went out and won 3-1 away from home tonight, because that's how good of a team they are.
Well, as you're saying that, Kingsley Coman just got a fantastic ball from Alaba down the back line. It fell to Choupo-Moting, who took one too many touches, and Idrissa Gana Gueye is going to keep it in instead of letting it go out for a goal kick. But it's a really poor touch from Choupo-Moting, who should have just took 1 touch out of his body and had a shot. Probably would have got a shot on target as well. But I mean, it would take some feat to beat Keylor Navas, who was absolutely outstanding last week.
Yeah, and so far in this game, mate, to be honest, 8 minutes into the Chelsea game, and not much has happened apart from that Kai Havertz going down with head injury. Both teams have just kind of exchanged, had exchanges of the ball in their own half. Other than that, not many chances going on. Mason Mount had a shot which got deflected and looped over the net and went out for a corner, but so far not many chances. And I want to see how Porto. Well, no, not Porto. I want to see how Chelsea approach the game. Being 2 goals up, got the 2 away goals. How do you handle the game? Do you try and push for more and leave yourself more space at the back, and go and completely kill the tie off, or do you try and hold the ball and kind of resist against any Porto attacks? But so far, Chelsea don't look afraid to come forward. I'll probably want to kill the tie off as early as they can.
Speaking of killing the tie off, maybe trying to get back into the tie. Bayern Munich, Kingsley Coman tried the 1-2 with Leroy Sané. Didn't really come off for him, but Colin Dagba defends it well there, the right back. Does pass it straight to Alphonso Davies, though, and Bayern Munich can now recycle the ball. Kimmich tries one over the top. There's a run by Muller, tries to flick the header on, and Choupo-Moting wasn't on the same wavelength. A really good move from Bayern Munich. We've got some more comments. Oliver Flanagan says, "Hi guys, PSG for the win." I mean, right now they are going through and knocking out the champions. Dad says, "Hi guys, how you doing? Will, do you think we will win tomorrow?"
Right, Daz, mate. There's 2 different. My heart, obviously, we're going to say we're going to win. Obviously, I'm a Liverpool supporter. Every game, I'm going to say we're going to win. I'm going to back us. But it's just so tough for me because we need that 2-0 win to go through. Can we keep a clean sheet against them with the way we looked last week? I really don't know. I think it depends on what midfield.
What a save! Sorry about it. What a save by Manuel Neuer. It's an absolute calamity at the back by Bayern Munich. Mbappe's running down the left-hand side. He gets inside the box. He's tackled, and then 2 Bayern Munich players collide together. The ball gets sandwiched in between them, lands at the feet of Neymar, and he takes a snapshot. He has to swing his feet. Neuer makes a great point-blank save, but Neymar is adjudged to be offside. Sorry, we'll go on. Continue, lad.
No, I was just going to say, obviously, I'm going to go Liverpool to win. That's what my heart's saying, but my head is saying, can we keep a clean sheet against Real Madrid? I know I trust that we can get the 2 goals at home and go through, but I just worry, can we keep a clean sheet? However, if you're asking for a straight answer, Daz, I'm going to go with a Liverpool 2-0 win. We go through. I'm obviously going to back us. Hopefully I'm right because, it'll be another magical night at Anfield. But we'll have to wait and see for that game. I think it's going to be a cracker. I really do. I wish fans were there. Oh, that's an error there by Mendy. And to be honest, it's not the first time I've seen Edouard Mendy, with a few dodgy passes with his passing out from the back. I think it was, Rudiger passed it back to Mendy, and instead of kicking it away from blasting it out, for a throw-in, he does a dodgy pass, and Otavio nearly breaks it up, but Christensen is just there to block it out for a corner. Could have easily been a goal there for Porto, a let-off there for Chelsea early on in this game.
I think the problem for Liverpool, it's not going to be scoring the goals because we know they can do that. It's going to be stopping Real Madrid from scoring the goals.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Of course, the defence last week had an absolute calamity. All 4 of them, they were really they're really shocking. Especially Trent, of course. I know played very well at the weekend, but he had a mare, didn't he? To be honest, that's going to be the problem for Liverpool.
The one thing that annoyed me about Trent didn't play too well, but if you watch the game back, the way the 3 midfielders are. The 2. Obviously, you've got Fabinho at your DM, and you've got your 2 other midfielders. They're meant to drift out wide to obviously help the fullbacks so they don't get overrun. If you watch the game, Naby Keita just wasn't tracking back, and it just left Trent one on. Well, it was 2v1 because Mendy was overlapping, and he also had Vinicius on the left hand side as well. So he was kind of he was kind of at a disadvantage straight away because Naby Keita just wasn't tracking back. Hence why Naby Keita got taken off in like the 40th minute. And as soon as Thiago came on, you saw Liverpool have better shape. Trent was getting forward, and we played better in the second half. Obviously, there for Vinicius' second goal, it was shocking defending. The entire defence fell asleep, and Alisson should save it. But I think Klopp, if he plays that midfield three of Thiago, Fabinho, and Wijnaldum, I think you'll probably see a more solid shape from Liverpool from the get-go. I don't think Klopp got it right in the first half last week, and I think we're just kind of shell-shocked. Nat Phillips got beat over the top. I know some people are saying that he should be working at Tesco's instead. He wasn't very good last week. He was not very good last week, and neither was Roberts or Kabak or Trent. But Liverpool, obviously they're still fighting to get in the top 4, but you can't rely on that. You've got to try and win every single game you can. I think they'll come out tomorrow and they'll come and try and get some early goals. And like I said, I wish the crowd was there because the players could feed off the crowd, and hopefully, the game will be a bit different. But we'll have to wait and see. I'm definitely looking forward to it because the tie's not over yet. We definitely still got a chance.
Yeah, and I mean, at the moment, the Premier League top 4 race is probably arguably the best it's ever been. I mean,
yeah,
got West Ham up there. You've got, I mean, Liverpool trying to recover from the effects of the early season and stuff. You've got Chelsea are in there. Leicester have been dragged back into it now. Everton are kind of on the outskirts. I mean, there's a lot of teams making names for themselves. I've left out Tottenham because, Jesus Christ, if they play like they played against us, they are not even going to get into the Europa League. But it's such a good race. I mean, I know you obviously want Liverpool to get there, but how good would it be to see West Ham in the Champions League next year? Watchalongs on Tuesday and Wednesday with West Ham, Marky Nobes in midfield in East London.
Do you know what? It'd be fantastic for the club because, West Ham have had past few seasons they've had some pretty stinky seasons. It's fair to say. I mean, when you look at West Ham as a team as well, the past few seasons, you've always on paper they've always had a good side. It's never managed to work on the pitch, but fair play to David Moyes this season. He's silenced all the critics. I think they play really well as a team. I think Lingard's been a revelation for him for many different reasons. I think he just fits their scheme perfectly in the way West Ham like to play. But yeah, seeing West Ham with that UCL badge on the sleeve, I'd be chuffed for the fans, especially because they better go watch the team in the Champions League, and it'd be something new. I'd like to see how they fare. They'll obviously get a big influx of cash. They'll probably get some better players in. It'd just be brilliant for the club as a whole. And West Ham, I do like West Ham as a club, so it would be nice to see them there. But obviously, I would rather Liverpool in there at the expense of West Ham. But if they get in there, it's fair play to them because they've been phenomenal all season.
Yeah, and towards the end of the season, do you think Liverpool will do it?
I mean, if you look at his fixtures, we've got a favourable running, and Liverpool, not so much in the Champions League, but in the Premier League, they've started it in a bit of form at the right time. So I'm confident we can do it. If we avoid any more stupid injuries. Obviously, we've got Man United still to come yet, but apart from that, I don't really see many games that we can't go on and win. So I'm backing Liverpool to get in there. I think Chelsea will also get in there. I've got a feeling Leicester are going to bottle it again, mate. Do you?
I mean, that's a tricky one, isn't it? Because I mean, they've got a kind of injury crisis of their own, or some sort of things going on behind the scenes at Leicester, of course, because he omitted Maddison, Chowdhury, and someone else out of the squad. Because of something that happened behind the scenes. And I mean, you looked at their bench that they played against West Ham, and I barely recognised anybody bar Mark O'Brighton. I mean, at the moment, they're getting carried by Iheanacho as well. So
you would have thought that as well.
And Jamie Vardy looks like he's finished in the Premier League.
Jamie Vardy should ask for a mutual release and join Wednesday in League One. That's where they'll be next season.
Yeah, didn't Wednesday get beat today, or are they getting beat today? Shall I say?
Yeah, I believe they lost 2-0 to Swansea, mate. It's not a surprise, Swansea are fighting for playoffs, but it's just kind of been a bit of a crap end season for Wednesday. They got that big 5-0 win a few weeks ago, but they seem to be going out with a whimper, which is a big, big shame for a club like Wednesday. The points deduction's done them in, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, nothing's really happened in my game for the last 10 or so minutes. I mean, it doesn't sound like anything's happened in your game either.
I'm the exact same, mate. Nothing's happened in this game so far, apart from that Mendy mistake earlier on. I mean, Porto, they just can't really get forward. We know Chelsea not spur that, the back three, as I mentioned, but as soon as Porto get the ball, the Chelsea players are pressing straight away. They're closing the gaps. There's not allowing a lot of space, which is, fair play to Chelsea because, you saw the likes of what Sergio Oliveira did to Juventus in the last round. So Chelsea are playing this really, really well. Marega can't really get open because he's constantly getting double teamed by two centre-backs. So, yeah, Porto, they're trying to work the flanks and trying to get the balls into the box, but it's just not working. Chelsea are playing very, very stout at the back. I'll be interested to see if Porto make any changes at half-time, but you're only 16 minutes in. It's not been a promising start from the Portuguese side.
Yeah, and I thought Bayern Munich could come into this with a bit more aggression and a bit more willpower to score early on and then really put the pressure on PSG. But, I mean, they've just not really they've not really had any shots, to be honest. I mean, they had the early attempt with Choupo-Moting and Muller trying to link up, but nothing's really coming off from them. The best chance of the game by far has been that chance for Mbappe in the opening couple of minutes. But apart from that, there's nothing that has happened. I've got a question in the chat. KD, did you order doner and chips? I did order doner and chips, KL. Thank you for asking. There has been a few other comments in the chat though. Tubbs has said hello. Tubbs, I know you've put that you're nervous in the chat, but on a scale of 1 to 10, you've got to tell us how much you are shitting yourself right now, because it's a big night for Bayern Munich, of course. Didn't win at the weekend, drew 1-1. The Leipzig won. The title race is quote-unquote back on. But now, if you go out of the Champions League tonight, what do you think this means for Bayern Munich? Do you think it's I don't want to say anything bad about Hansi Flick because he's done a fantastic job. Do you think people start to question Hansi Flick? 1 second, Will, pal.
Sorry, what do you say? Is KD gone? Is KD gone somewhere? Well, I'll quickly talk about. Oh, there's a chance there for Porto. Ball's whipped in, headed down. It was actually blocked by a Chelsea defender. Chelsea coming down on the break. Kai Havertz, pretty slow break from Chelsea, but he plays a good ball through forward to Kante. And Kante's done very well. He's won the one-on-duel. He squares it across to Mason Mount. Puts it onto his right foot. He finds Reece James. Oh, and the shot is poor. The shot is really poor from Reece James. Chelsea again. He broke really fast there. Porto. Well, the chance to come from a Porto corner. It was headed down by, I believe, Pepe. It was blocked by the Chelsea defender. Chelsea broke away. Kante did very well on the break to get forward. He played it into Christian Pulisic, not Mason Mount. And Reece James has gone for a shot. He's kind of hit straight across it and he's gone out nearly for a throw-in. Again, a half chance there for Chelsea. But as I mentioned, I'm interested to see how Chelsea approach the game because they are 2-0 up on aggregate. They don't need a goal. As long as they don't concede, they're through. Porto have to score 2 goals to even take it extra time. So if Chelsea can get that 1 goal, the time's probably killed off. But at the same time, you don't want to commit too many bodies forward and risk the chance of getting caught on the break by Porto. Going forward, they've got quite a bit of pace. Especially the front three and the midfielders are pretty creative, so you don't want to risk too much if you are Chelsea.
Sorry, Will. Josh walked. We'd ordered some takeaway, so Josh just brought it up to me, the absolute G that he is. But the chance for Bayern Munich, Alaba on the byline, pulls it back. There's nobody there. Kimmich edge of the area. Fantastic defending by Idrissa Gana Gueye. Still not cleared. Pavard goes down. Referee's waving him forward, and now Paris Saint-Germain have a 3v3. Mbappe up against Boateng. Squared him up last week for the goal. Fantastic pass across to Di Maria. Takes one touch. Tries to chip it over the back line. It's not a good pass, and it's into the hands of Manuel Neuer. But again, the power of PSG on the counter-attack is there to be seen. Bayern Munich commit too many men forward. That double pivot of Alaba and Kimmich are going forward at every single opportunity for Bayern. And there's so much space for the likes of Neymar in there to get behind that double pivot at the moment. But anything of note, 1 second, I'm just going to stop because Coman latched onto that ball on the left-hand side. There's nobody really in the box, bar Choupo-Moting. Coman faces up Colin Dagba, goes up against him. Jinks inside, edge of the area, pulls it back to Alaba, who chips one to the back stick for Muller, headed behind and out of play for a throw-in on the far right-hand side. But as I was about to say, has anything happened in your game while I was gone?
Well, you're going to mention the chance that Chelsea had. It came from a Porto corner. So Porto, I believe it was Pepe headed the ball down. It was blocked by a Chelsea defender. And Chelsea broke. It was N'Golo Kante leading the charge. It looked like he lost the ball, but he outmuscled the Porto right back, squared it across to Pulisic, who then laid it off for Reece James, but Reece James kind of cut across the ball and nearly went out for a throw-in. So kind of a hard chance for Chelsea, but other than that, nothing major. But once again, Porto, they try and push forward, and as soon as their players, such as Sergio Oliveira, as soon as he gets the ball, he's instantly being pressed by the Chelsea defenders. No room to play any ball. He just constantly has to turn around and play it back to his defenders. So Chelsea, so far, Chelsea have worked this game very, very well, and Pulisic also is very lively on the left-hand side. I think with Christian Pulisic, he got that injured in the FA Cup final in last season's campaign. Struggled to get off to a start, but I think you are seeing now with him getting games under his belt, coming off that injury. I think he's showing his talent once again that he showed towards the back end of last season.
There's another question for you, Will. Will, if Klopp thinks it's right, would you start Jota over Bobby?
So this one might surprise you, Des, but I'd actually start Bobby tomorrow against Real Madrid. And the reason for it is because I felt like Liverpool, the wingers, Salah and Mane, when it came to last week, they struggled to get any chances. I think Jota's more of a direct player. He's more of a out-and-out striker, and if you feed him, he's probably going to score. He's probably going to press on further forward than Bobby will. But I think the thing that Liverpool had last week was someone's dropping into that pockets of space and create the chances. We saw the midfield three were doing well, but the gap from that midfield to the attack was too large, and Liverpool couldn't create any chances around the Real Madrid penalty area. Eddie Militao, he looked like Maldini last week because all he had to do was head the ball away. Liverpool were not creating anything on the edge of the box, so I would generally start Bobby. I know Jota played pretty well against Villa at the weekend. He had a few chances, but I would generally start Bobby. I think he brings that experience that we need at this level of the Champions League, and also just linking the play up. He wouldn't be too greedy. He'd also press pretty well. So I'd actually start Bobby tomorrow against Real Madrid.
Yeah, I think it depends which way Klopp wants to go at it, to be honest.
Yeah.
Firmino links the play up well, but Jota on fire at the moment. Anything he touches goes in at the moment, and it was because of him. It was because of him last week as well that you actually got the goal.
Yeah, and it's very true. And to be honest, pal, at this rate, you need 2 goals. You need to get an early goal, definitely, to up the confidence. Why not start all 4 of them? Salah, Mane, Firmino, and Jota. Why not play a 4-2-3? Well, I know it'd leave your midfield a bit more exposed, but you've got the likes of Fabinho, who Everton has got ridiculous work with, Wijnaldum, who was played pretty well last week. Obviously conceded that goal where he was doing the mannequin challenge and he didn't close down Vinicius Junior. But if you can play midfield 2 of Wijnaldum and Fabinho, you can have the Bobby in behind Jota and go really attacking and really go for it. That's definitely on the table for Klopp if he wants to do that. But I feel like he's going to go with his standard 4-3-3. But yeah, personally, I'd start Bobby, and if you need a goal, why not bring on Jota as well?
Yeah, and of course the UEL watch-along will be coming back on Thursday. I mean, the game that I'm covering is pretty much over, barring an absolutely monumental fuck-up by Man United. My game's probably over. I'm not actually sure who's doing the thing on Thursday, so I'm sure Josh will tell you tomorrow, or whoever's doing the game tomorrow. Rowan will tell you tomorrow what's happening. But yeah, UEL football's back, and as there's nothing going on in these games, Will, who do you think is going to win the Champions League and the Europa League?
Europa League, I'm going to go Man United because I think you're playing really well at the minute. And I know last season, obviously, I thought you would have won it last season. I didn't think Sevilla would beat you, and I thought it was a bit of a smash and grab from Sevilla, to be fair. But I think you'll win it this season. I just think you're better than everybody else in the competition, mate. It boils down to that. It's just there's some clubs in the Europa League that are very intriguing. You look at them and think, they're an interesting side. Slavia, I think, fair play to them that they played, they got a good result against Arsenal, so they could be a dangerous team. But I just think Man United are too strong than anybody else in that competition, so I think they'll go on and win it. In terms of the Champions League, I think this one's a bit tougher to call. Do you know what? If I'm not going to say Liverpool, because obviously I would like to see Liverpool going to win it, but let's say Liverpool lose tomorrow against Real Madrid, I could genuinely see Chelsea winning it, mate. I genuinely could.
You think Chelsea beat Real Madrid in the semi-final?
I think they could beat Real Madrid in the semi-final, and if they're still in really good form under Tuchel, I genuinely think they could go on and win it, mate. Just because if you look at the team right now, the defence is so strong. I know they got battered by West Brom 5-2, so you're thinking, how can they be champions in Europe when West Brom beat them 5-2? But I thought that was a bit of an outlier of the game. I genuinely think they've got the formula and the coach that knows how to beat the big sides. They're very, very stout at the back. They've got pace going forward. The midfield is very, very hard working. I think Chelsea could be a definite underdog that I don't think many teams would consider. I know you've obviously got Bayern, PSG, Bayern, even Dortmund, even City, but Chelsea would be my shock team to win the UCL.
Yeah, and that could happen. But just as you were talking about, there were a chance for Leroy Sané there. It was a really good, intelligent flick by Choupo-Moting through the legs of a PSG defender with a back heel. I mean, he thinks he's massive now. He's done that. Sané took the shot early, and it just curls wide. And a good chance for Bayern Munich. That's the first real big chance of the game.
Did you see it was Choupo-Moting with the back heel?
Yeah, Choupo-Moting did back heel through a PSG player's legs.
Choupo-Moting's probably surprised Choupo-Moting with that back heel. Probably knew when he was worthy of doing that.
I mean, so far Thomas Muller has been fuming with him. I'm not going to lie. Every time a ball's put in box, he just doesn't move. He's like a statue in the middle of the box, Choupo-Moting, when a ball's in there. Unless it comes straight to him and it hits him on the head, you're not going to get much out of Choupo-Moting. Daz did ask me a question. He said, Kieren, how do you think United will do Thursday? I think should be quite simple. Oh, but there's a break in play here. PSG, Bayern Munich win it back, and it's a shot from the edge of the area by Kimmich. And it is inches away from putting Bayern Munich ahead in this game. It's a poor pass, I think, from Idrissa Gana Gueye. Coleman intercepts it well. The loose ball ricochets to Kimmich. And he just puts it wide. It's a good chance for Bayern Munich. 2 good chances in the last 2 minutes. But as I was saying, it should be quite simple on Thursday. I mean, like I said, barring a monumental fuck-up, we should be in the semi-finals against probably Roma, it's looking like at this point, which I think is going to be a very tough game. Do you think Man United will win on Thursday, Will?
Yeah, I think they'll go through, man. I think when you play Roma, I watched Roma against Shakhtar. They dispatched them with ease. But again, I wasn't impressed with Shakhtar's defence. I thought they got run through far too easily. I know that was a few rounds.
Mbappe squares it. Neymar, what a save by Manuel Neuer.
Might have just kept them in the game.
It should be 1-0. Sorry, I'm absolutely chomping on this takeaway right now. But PSG had the best chance of the game by far. Mbappe squares it, and Neymar's in acres of space just because Neymar's in the box again. Back to Mbappe, one touch out of his feet. Brilliant tackle, Thomas Muller. And now Bayern Munich can come the other way if he wants to lose. Brilliant pass by Muller. PSG there on the counter again. Left-hand side, Mbappe blitzes past 2 or 3 players, gets it onto the wing, plays a fantastic pass through, I think it's Boateng and Pavard, through them two, into Mbappe, into Neymar, sorry. And Neymar just takes it early, and Neuer makes a brilliant save, makes himself as big as he can do in a 1v1 situation. PSG coming again, though. Neymar inside the box. Still Neymar is being held off by Hernandez, and Neymar's got his hands all over his face, but still managed to get past him, taken down. The referee points for the corner, but Neymar's saying he was fouled. We know what Neymar's like, though. He could have just broke a nail there. His hand is literally on Theo Hernandez's throat, Lucas Hernandez, sorry. His throat, pulling his shirt as he's trying to hold him off to get the ball. Then Theo Hernandez falls over. Neymar goes over him. The PSG players are furious. Bayern Munich players are saying it's a corner. Something's happening here. What's the ref doing? The ref going over to the monitor? No, game play on. He's been given us a goal kick. What the bloody hell's happening here?
After all that.
Yeah, after all that's been going on, he's been given us a goal kick. And Bayern Munich can come forward with a Choupo-Moting coming out to Pavard. I mean, as all this is happening, Will, has anything at all happened in your game?
No, not much, mate. Not much has happened once again. Chelsea just as soon as Porto got the ball, Chelsea just try to press them, and as soon as Chelsea get the ball, they want to slow the game down. And they're hesitantly going forward, which makes sense because they're 2-0 up on aggregate. They don't want to risk too many bodies going forward, but yeah, Porto, they are trying to make things happen, but it's just not happening for half an hour into the game, and there's been pretty much no major chances for either side, really.
I think Kyle's put it, the point that you made, I think Kyle's put it brilliantly there. Imagine that Tuchel couldn't win the Champions League with PSG and their talent, so instead goes to Chelsea to win it with them, with an arguably probably a worse side on paper, but just the way football works, doesn't it?
It is. I agree that the fact that Tuchel can win with PSG's talent, but you've got to consider, the PSG's talent, in inverted commas, it shrunk in the final, in my personal opinion. I thought Neymar and Mbappe would do better than they did. And obviously, it was won by a single goal at the end of the day by Coburn, so it wasn't like they got played off the park, but I'd be lying if I said I didn't expect more from Mbappe and Neymar in that final.
No, and I think everyone was expecting a better final than actually turned out to be, because, a 1-0 wasn't really the most convincing final, was it really? But for Bayern Munich, I think that in this game especially, they just need to be a little bit more aggressive and a little bit more go forward a bit, because at the moment they're just showing nothing. It's not looking good either, because they've got the players on the bench, probably only a few players that can come off and make a real difference. Attacking-wise, Musiala is probably the only person he can bring on, because I don't really know much about Stanisic, or I know we started the weekend, but their squad's just depleted at the moment. Apart from the starting 11, they've got nobody who really can come on and make an impact apart from Musiala. And PSG have got to take advantage of that.
The thing is, Bayern obviously need they need at least 2 goals, don't they? Because PSG have 3 away goals. They need the goals, but I don't think they want to press too much, because with the quality PSG have, if Bayern are constantly pushing for that goal and PSG catch them on the break and get that early goal. Well, the first goal of the game, should I say, because we're not pretty early in the games anymore. But if PSG went and got a goal on the break, and it made the task even harder for Bayern. So I think they're probably methodically going at it, but if they've not had anything going forward, then it's not a good sign.
There's just been a beautiful nutmeg on the halfway line by Di Maria and Alphonso Davies. The skills are coming out. PSG are playing by far the better football, and they look more threatening when they go forward. It's shaping up in terms of the style-wise, not the goals, exactly how the first leg went, with PSG on the counter, Bayern Munich trying to press to score. But it's been a slow burner. I'm not gonna lie. Yours sounds like it's been a far worse game than mine so far. The opening 31 minutes.
Mine has been pretty poor, mate. To be honest, like I said, Porto are chasing the game, but they've yet to create anything big. Pretty similar to Bayern, really. They need a few goals, but they've just. I don't think they've shown enough intent personally going forward. Marega's kind of stranded, but that's a brilliant touch, and what an absolute waste that is. That's an absolute waste. I believe it's Corona. Otavio plays a lovely ball over the top to Corona. He spins Ben Chilwell. He's onside, I think. Yeah, he's onside. It just showed the freeze for him there. He's onside. he just kind of rolls Ben Chilwell, brings it down beautifully, and just volleys it over the crossbar. Man, they don't even need to move. It's a big chance for Porto. They got it into the penalty area. They had a shot, they had a chance to get that goal, but blasted it miles over the crossbar. A wasted chance for Porto and a let off there for Chelsea.
Probably the best chance of the game so far, would you say?
Absolutely. I mean, Porto have had a few half chances here and there, but that one was a straight shot on goal for Corona, and he couldn't put it any higher. An absolute waste. His head's kind of gone. He's leaned back. He's not letting over the ball, and he's half volleyed it over the crossbar. A massive waste for Porto.
There's Di Maria edge of the box for PSG. Him and Dagba play a nice little 1-2. Di Maria spins past Alaba, plays a lovely ball back out to Diallo on the left. Here's Julian Draxler. Di Maria still outside the area. 1-2 with Draxler. Fantastic football by PSG. Di Maria tries to dance his way into the area. Going to have to go out to Diallo, plays a ball in, and it's headed away easily by Boateng. But when PSG go forward, I mean, the ball's not been cleared convincingly by Boateng, and that's good defending back there by Alphonso Davies. When PSG go forward, they look dangerous every time, and they've won the ball back again from Alphonso Davies. And Neymar now on the right-hand side. Di Maria's screaming for it at the back post. Neymar goes alone, shoots. It's a brilliant save by Neuer onto the post. It's still not cleared because Hernandez gives it away to Neymar, cuts onto his left, and it's a good recovery challenge by the Frenchman to clear the ball. But again, PSG could have had the opening goal. And Alphonso Davies gives the ball away again. Mbappe on the right wins the throw-in. But Alphonso Davies there 3 times, giving the ball away back to PSG. And it's an absolute calamity at the back for Bayern Munich at the moment. It's been like this all season, to be fair.
It sounds like Neuer's keeping him in it.
Yeah, another fantastic save by Neuer onto the post. Just going to see the close-up of it. Neymar, obviously with the step-overs coming out, hits on his left foot. Neuer, brilliant save onto the post, keeping Bayern Munich in this tie at the moment. And I mean, the last week, of course, he cost them a goal. This week, he saved them 2. And Alphonso Davies on the left-hand side, using his pace now into Coman, who, up against Colin Dagba, probably wants to take him on 1v1, but instead has to go back to Alaba. Back to Coman. There's 3 men in the box for Bayern Munich. Coman goes out on the overlap to Alaba, who tries to flick one in. I think he's won a corner. He has. The first corner of the game for Bayern Munich. And I mean, last week, there were so many poor deliveries from Kimmich. But the 2 he did get right for the set pieces were the goals. So if he can do that again, then Bayern Munich will be in business. I mean, I feel a little bit bad because I'm hogging all the good chances here, Will, and I feel like you're just watching an absolute bore fest.
I've got to be honest, mate. Yeah, this has been one of the worst games I've watched all season because nothing is happening. Like I said, I knew it was going to be a pretty toothless game for Chelsea when I saw Havertz as the number 9 because as soon as he gets the ball, he's looking to get out to the wingers or pass it back into the midfield. Like I said, he's just not a direct striker, and as soon as Porto get it, they've got no time on the ball to create anything, and again they just pass it back. Again, 35 minutes in, it's not been a pleasant watch so far.
Is there any real signs of encouragement for Porto though? Because of course they're the ones that need the 2 goals.
Yeah, there's been a few signs like that chance for Otavio should have absolutely been taken. Not Otavio, from Corona. Should have absolutely been taken if they want to get back into this game. But they try to do things. But like I said, as soon as they get the ball, Chelsea press them and close them down because with them playing them 3 big centre backs, they can't really feed the ball into Marega because he's instantly got 2 defenders on him. And even the wingers, as soon as Porto show any sign of going forward, you see Reece James and Ben Chilwell, they drop back, and all of a sudden Chelsea are just playing a flat back 5 on the edge of the box and not allowing Porto to get anything going. So yeah, Porto are trying, but Chelsea they've got the tactics spot on tonight. Thomas Tuchel, his defensive shape's brilliant, and it completely makes sense for Chelsea. They got the 2 goals in the first leg. They don't need to go out and attack tonight. They just don't need to do it. But a chance there for Porto. It was a long-range shot. Finally someone has a shot on goal, trying to make something happen. It was easily blocked, though, by Joseph, and I believe it was Christensen. Porto still got the ball, though. But like I said, I've literally said it. As soon as Porto...
Oh, is it the crossbar?
Chelsea got about 4 or 5 defenders in the box.
Oh, Neymar, again, inches away from giving PSG the lead. He's so skillful. He's so good to watch. I mean, you can have your opinion on him at the end of the day, but he is such a good footballer to watch. I mean, he gets it on the edge of the corner of the box, and he checks it back onto his right foot, right. I'm getting confused here. Checks it back onto his other foot and takes the shot on the curl from the edge of the box, and it just whacks off the crossbar and goes over the bar. inches away from giving PSG the lead. That's a fantastic ball by Kimmich, though. And I mean, Choupo-Moting's probably inches away from putting Bayern Munich in front if he would have got anything on that. And this game's now starting to hot up towards the end of the first half. And both teams obviously need the first goal. PSG get it. This tie is probably done and dusted. Bayern Munich get it. PSG get a little bit of itty shafts, I reckon. And here they come again on the counter. Neymar in behind in that little pocket of space that he picked up in Mbappe against Boateng. And Boateng actually beats him to the ball this time, Jerome Boateng. Brilliant defending from the experienced German.
That's a great play. They can Porto. Get it to Corona on the right-hand side. They won the ball high, and that's, again, brilliant defending there. Well, I think it was Jorginho dropping back into the central defence and clearing the ball. Like I mentioned, as soon as Porto got forward, Chelsea dropped bodies back and cleared the ball well. But I remember quite vividly when we played PSG at the Park, at their stadium, and Neymar was time wasting because PSG were 2-1 up, and no one would foul Neymar, in case he'd run past them. And you just see Robertson, he runs all the way from left back to right back and just kicks Neymar in the shin. Don't even make an 10-foot ball. Neymar's on the ground rolling about. Robbo just walks off and tells him to get up. But like you say, Neymar's one of those players that, if he's on your team, he's your favourite player. But when you've got to play against him, he's the most hated player without a doubt. He's just so frustratingly good. Yeah,
and of course we've played him twice this year. Tuanzebe kept him quiet in first one. Second one, he absolutely ran riot, absolutely carried Paris Saint-Germain. But there's a chance for Neymar in the box, and he's hit the post. Oh my God, it looked easier to score than miss. What a chance for PSG again. And he's hit the crossbar and the post and been denied by Manuel Neuer this game. PSG should be winning this 2 or 3-0 by far already. Neymar and Mbappe linking up again. It's so good to watch the football. And he's through on goal. He just takes it a bit lethargically with his right foot, thinking, I'll just slot this back at net. And he hits the post. Manuel Neuer's beating all ends up. And now Kingsley Coman tries one from the edge. It's blocked. Does ricochet back to him, though. Here's Alaba. Back out to Coman. Face Colin Dagbrook. Puts the ball into the box. Muller takes a touch. Alaba. Great save by Navas. Not clear. Choupo-Moting's there. And it's a goal for Bayern Munich. And Choupo-Moting has scored seconds after PSG should be in front. And the biggest goal of the night from the biggest player on the pitch, Eric Maxim Choupo-Moting, and Josh is probably giving it the limbs right now. I mean, the lead up to the goal, Will, down the left-hand side, Kingsley Coman has a shot, ricochets back to him, goes back onto the wing, puts a fantastic ball in, Muller chests it down, Alaba's in acres of space inside the box, he has the shot, it's not a convincing save by Navas, who spills it into the air, and Choupo-Moting's there to just nod the ball in, towers over Kimpembe, brilliant header from the Cameroonian, and it's game on in Paris again.
Incredible. Like you said, the first goal is going to be absolutely massive tonight. If PSG get it, the tie's probably dead. But now Bayern have got it level on aggregate, and now if Bayern get one more goal, well, they'll be heading through. And who would have thought, like you said, Eric Maxim Choupo-Moting was rotting away at Stoke not too long ago, and now he's scoring in the Champions League quarter-final for Bayern Munich. Absolutely mental. Fair play to him.
Yeah, and I mean, he's got a big weight on his shoulders to fill the boots of Lewandowski's. Obviously, a massive miss, but PSG coming forward down the right with Colin Dagba up against Alphonso Davies. Done really well, Dagba. Ball across, cleared out play for a corner by Hernandez, but this game is now hotting up with about 4 or 5 minutes to go till half-time. Any chance yours is getting a little bit entertaining, or?
Porto had another half chance, but like I mentioned, as soon as they get bodies forward, Chelsea just drop the men back and clear the ball. It's been, the tactics from Tuchel tonight have been absolutely fantastic. They're just kind of like suffocating the space as soon as Porto get the ball. I can't see Porto getting this, to be honest, mate. I think if Chelsea are not going to, it's either going to stay as it is or Chelsea will nab a few goals in the second half and just kill the tie off. Porto are trying, but I just can't see them scoring personally, unless it's a penalty or a very, very unlucky on goal or something like that. But yeah, I can only see this being one result tonight, and that's Chelsea win.
I mean, yeah, it probably is going to be all that way. But at the moment, this game's really open because PSG have nicked it again. Di Maria takes one touch, finds a fantastic pass out to Mbappe in the area, squares up Hernandez, gets past him. Mbappe shoots, and it's inches wide. Oh my God. What is happening in this game? It should be at least 1-1, I'm not going to lie. Another great chance for Paris Saint-Germain. And I think Mbappe might actually have been offside when he picked the ball up. Just going to see this now. He's miles onside. How has that been given as offside? I mean, it's a good job the chance came to nothing because the linesman held his flag up and he is nowhere near offside. He's about 2 or 3 yards onside. There was a similar one down the right-hand side as they were breaking. He just ran across the halfway line, and Jerome Boateng is playing him 2 or 3, maybe even 5 yards onside, and the referee's assistant puts his flag out, gives it as offside. And I mean, Mbappe could have been off down that right-hand side and scored the goal. It's such a stupid rule, this bloody offside thing. I don't know what you think of it, but I hate it.
What's that, when the play continues afterwards? Yeah,
it's such a stupid rule. Well, that's the thing. They didn't actually let the play continue, so I'm not really sure what they're doing.
That's the thing with the. I also dislike the rule because, if the play's offside and the play's not going to count, just blow it dead straight away. Because if you're continuing the play and something happens, like we saw it with Liverpool and Wolves. Liverpool. Salah was called offside, but they kept the play going, and as a result of that, Rui Patricio got wiped out by his own defender and suffered a really, really bad head injury. If they'd have called the play dead, Salah would have stopped running, and the play would have been a free kick right there. But you're running the risk of continuing play for a meaningless reason, which could risk injury, anything like that. I think it's an absolutely stupid rule.
Yeah, fortunately for Rui Patricio, he's all right now. But like you said, it could have been a lot worse, and it is a stupid rule, and it just doesn't make sense to me. I mean, if it's 1 sec, Alba takes the shot from the edge, and it's a fantastic diving save by Keylor Navas to keep it at 1-0. And I mean, now PSG are under the back burner a little bit because Bayern Munich coming forward searching for that second goal before half-time. And as Tubbs has said, Kyle said good goal by Bayern. Tubbs did say good goal, but Bayern isn't winning this. PSG should have 4 goals. Should be 4 goals up. And I'm not going to lie, they probably should. That's a fantastic corner routine, though. Comes to Theo Hernandez, swipes it in the air. Pavard heads it back to Hernandez. It's cleared away, but I mean, this has been by far... The last 15 minutes of this game have been by far probably one of the best entertaining matches of football I've watched. Long ball up by Neuer.
Yeah, mine's the complete opposite, mate.
I can imagine, lad, and I feel sorry because you've been drafted in late to watch this, and you're actually watching an absolute snorefest.
It has been an absolute snorefest, and there is 1 added minute towards the end of half time. So, I mean. It didn't really mean much because, again, I think nothing will happen. Nothing's happened for the past 45 minutes.
I bet you can't wait for half time.
I can't wait. I just want a quick break because it's hurting my eyes what I'm watching here. It really is. It's just the exact same. Porto go forward, Chelsea clear the ball. Chelsea have a little spell forward, Porto reclaim it, lump it forward again, Chelsea. It's just the same stuff over and over. Porto needs to change them up big time if they're going to get a goal.
Yeah, and we've got 1 minute added time. I mean, the BT score things put 1 minute up. I've just seen the guy at the bottom of the screen with the board. He's put 2 on there. So either BT are lying or the guy with the board's lying. Oh, Mbappe went down in the area holding his knee. He's been given as offside, but again, that stupid rule. He went down clutching his knee. Imagine if he was injured there. Oh, fucking stupid rule. Sort it out, man. But we are getting towards half-time. We should probably pick something to talk about at half-time because the way these games have been going, I've got 1 goal. You've got no goals. There's not really much we can talk about other than what each team needs to do to either keep in front or win the match. So in a few weeks, Will, Liverpool play Man United.
They do.
Are you looking forward to that?
I am. I actually am. I mean, I thought the first. I didn't watch the first Premier League encounter that we had because I was at work. But it sounds like I didn't miss out. It was a pretty boring game. Obviously, with the watch-along for the FA Cup game. Again, it was a good game. Obviously, we ended up losing, but it was an entertaining game. But I am because I think United have secured top 4. With that win over Spurs now, I think top 4 is secure for you. But we need to go and win the game. And obviously, it's a rivalry. I don't care what anybody says. You can say it's not a rivalry, but in my opinion, it's the biggest game in the Premier League. Everyone looks forward to Liverpool Man United. Everyone over the world. So, obviously the expectations are there with the top 4 race, but I think it'll just be a great game in general because I think both teams are in pretty good form in the league, and I expect an interesting game from both sides.
Yeah, I think the watch-along that we did by far got to be one of my more favourite watch-alongs that we've ever done. Not just because my team won, but it was just such an entertaining game to watch, and
yeah, it was.
We had fun, me and you there, didn't we?
Yeah, no, it was really, really fun watching because it was kind of like you say, it was even though my team lost, it was for the 90 minutes, just all entertainment. You know, you had the obviously Liverpool taking the lead, and then Greenwood waving at the camera and whatnot, and then you think it's all over, and Salah makes it 2-2. But then that Bruno free kick kind of topped the game off. Really, it was a great finish. Yeah, it seems so long ago. I think that's already like 3 months ago. Absolutely crazy.
Yeah, and of course, with the end of lockdown, there's a lot more smiling faces, of course, because that was during lockdown when we did that watch along. We had a nice day yesterday as well. April the 12th, of course, the beer gardens opened, the pubs are back open, the non-essential shops are back open. I went to work for the first day yesterday. It was all right. Everything's open, and like you said earlier, getting back to normality a little bit. 5 weeks on, we hopefully won't have to wear masks anymore.
Yeah, and to be honest, that'll be pretty crazy because we've been so used to wearing a mask, just not having to wear one ever again. Pretty crazy. I mean, I wonder if people will just still wear one just in case, because obviously it's this virus in general. It's scared a lot of people. I think people will be scared for life now, unfortunately, with the way it's been passed around the media and whatnot. But yeah, it'll be good not having to walk into a shop, walk towards the shop and go, bollocks, I forgot my mask. You don't have to say that anymore.
Yeah. And for football, of course, the return of fans towards the end of the season, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully that'll be good. A good end to the season if we can get fans back in the stadium. But I mean, to be honest, mate, I just can't wait until we have that full capacity. I don't think there'll be many feelings like it. It'll be so long since we had a full capacity in stadiums. Well, by the time we get that, it'll be nearly a year and a half, right? Well, since we had actual fans in the stadium. So it's going to be great to have our fans back, because I think, although I think the Premier League has done a great job this season, keeping the Premier League running, football without fans is nothing really, in my opinion. So as soon as you get the fans back in the stadium, they're better, because that's what we all love. The atmosphere about football is what makes it great.
Yeah, and of course, a lot of teams have sort of like, I know Man United especially, the away record that we've got. Of course, I think it's 23 or 22 straight unbeaten away from home. I think, of course, the no fans has definitely helped that, because if Tottenham did score that first goal, I mean, the White Hart Lane, or the new White Hart Lane, would have been absolutely rocking, especially the way they'd scored it as well. It was such a good goal, and I feel like a lot of teams' home form has dipped this season, especially at the start of the season. Our home form was absolutely shite. Like, imagine 75,000 people at Old Trafford cheering you on. I mean, there's people in our club that haven't actually experienced that, like Van der Beek and Diallo, and I mean, the majority of the players that are on the bench probably haven't heard it that many times. And I feel like it's better to play football with fans, of course, because it's that atmosphere, it's that adrenaline that players get. Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I mean, like I think even in Liverpool's case, well, I don't want to kick off on Liverpool, but the players feed off it, and it can, if you've got a crowd behind you, you can make your home stadium into an absolute fortress. Then, without how it makes a difference. I mean, you've seen with no fans in Anfield this season, Liverpool went on to lose, I believe, 4 straight games at home, which are just, it's alien to players like, Mane and Robertson, who've never lost a game at Anfield until this season, which is crazy. Even Salah as well. So, yeah, like you say, it's them things where players feed off the atmosphere, and without a doubt raises the level of performance. I mean, you could even see it the way around, like West Ham United, with how toxic their stadium is, and in terms of the fans always fighting and whatnot. They struggle to build atmosphere off it. I think maybe having no fans in their stadium is probably improved their performance. Do you think that's a fair comment to make or not?
Yeah, of course, because the things that have happened with West Ham in the past, of course, like you said, they've got a little bit of a toxic fan base. Of course, not talking like that to everyone, but there are those few out there which are like that. But I mean, that's going to be interesting to see, because if they don't get into the Champions League this season, and say they're in the Europa League, I feel like I'd prefer to watch them in the Europa League, where they could have a little bit of a chance, than watch them in the Champions League, where, no offence to West Ham, you'd probably come fourth in your group and probably get knocked out straight away. Yeah,
I agree. I think even be great for them to get into UCL. How far they go, though, like you say, it's unquestionable. Unless they made some big signings, but I think if West Ham, they've had those seasons in the past where where they had Payet and whatnot, and they surprised everybody, got into Europe, ended up losing to Astragogo, as we know, in the Europa League qualifiers. But I think that if they got back into Europe, it'd be great for the fans, something for the fans to look forward to. Instead of turning into a game every single week and wanting the owners out and wanting these players signed and whatnot, all of a sudden you celebrate you're watching a team in Europe. So it'd be great for the fans to come back into the stadiums to look forward to European football for them, without a doubt.
Yeah, and of course the catalyst for West Ham, my boy Jesse Lingard. What a player! Told you he was quality.
No, I never doubted Jesse Lingard, mate. I always said he was a good player. Jay Lings, just need to give him the chance.
Yeah, and I mean that's the thing. When you're coming in at Man United and you're playing one game every month, obviously your form's he's not gonna reflect you when you're at your full potential and your full sharpness like Lingard was. Like if you saw him in the 2017-18 season when he was scoring all them goals for Man United under Mourinho, and he looked like the player that everybody talked about him. He had all that potential, of course.
Yeah.
He was a late bloomer, and I mean this season he's been, and I think arguably one of the best loan signings ever in Premier League history.
No, I agree, because they've got, like you say, he's been the catalyst for West Ham. Since he's come in January, he's played like house on fire. He's been getting forward. He's been scoring goals, creating chances for him. He's just kind of been that playmaker that we're missing, that could create chances all around the field. And I think, like you say, going to West Ham where he knows he's going to play week in, week out, he's be able to develop his confidence, get his fitness up, get his match sharpness back up. Because we all know Lingard, like you said, he showed potential early on in his Man United career, but last few seasons he struggled to get a consistent run in the team. So I think going to West Ham without a doubt, great signing for him. And I hope for his sake that he makes the Euro squad, because he definitely deserves it based off this season.
Yeah, let's have a quick talk about that Euro squad at the moment. Of course, in the goalkeeper spots, I feel like those three are probably locked up to Pickford, Pope, and Henderson now.
Yeah.
You think?
No, I agree, mate. I think who starts is for Southgate and who starts for me and many other people will be different. I think Nick will start. He's had a few tough games recently, Nick Pope, but we've seen this season he's been without him. Burnley going down, it's pretty simple. And Pickford again. I think Pickford's better with his feet, but he's made so many errors that I just can't see him starting for England, in my personal opinion. But I think Southgate will end up playing, to be honest, mate. And I think the only reason why Henderson's not starting is because I know recently he's been playing a lot of games, but I think if he started the season in net and played every single game in goal, I think you'd probably see him starting. But I just don't think he's played enough games thus far to get the starting job.
Yeah, and of course the back line, I feel like maybe 3 of the 4 is probably sorted for Southgate, unless he plays a back 3. But in our England squad, we're playing a 4 at the back. We're playing Brexit style 4 at the back football. I think for me, 3 of the 4 slots are probably locked down to Luke Shaw, Harry Maguire, and John Stones. I think those will be 3 of the starting 4. And then the right back, I mean, you've got 3 or 4 to choose from. Some that even don't get in the squad. He'll probably pick Kieren Trippier. Or Kyle Walker over the likes of Trent. Who do you think is going to play?
Well, I personally go with Trent, because I just think when you look at England, especially in the group stage, they're going to be the dominant side in that tie. They're going to be going forward, and I think with the way Southgate plays his midfielders, he likes his 2 holding defensive midfielders, doesn't he? So I think you're going to need some creativity coming from your fullbacks. I think Luke Shaw's been fantastic this season. I'm really happy for Luke Shaw, because he got that horrible injury a few seasons ago. He struggled to really, get going again. But I think this season he's shown that he's still a quality fullback, and I'm genuinely happy for him that he's got his form up, and that he will. I think he will definitely be starting for England. I know Chilwell's a good left back, but I think with the way Luke Shaw's played this season, it'd be criminal to leave him out the squad. So I think I'll start Luke Shaw and Trent, because I think you get the creativity from both of them going forward. And also I know Trent has his defensive struggles here and there, but it's not always on Trent. I think with the way Liverpool play their system, especially when you're playing attacking midfielders, it leaves Trent exposed sometimes. So I think when he played for England, I think Trent, he's who I'd play definitely, because I think he's just got the most quality. I know Walker and James, they're pretty. Walker's, I think he's better defensively because of how quick and strong he is. But I don't know why you'd play the likes of Trippier and James over Trent, in my personal opinion.
Yeah, I think Reece James is a good shout though. I think he's proved a lot of people wrong that last season he wasn't just a one-season wonder.
Yeah,
I think he's done really well this year, and I feel like we've moved on from the era where Kieren Trippier is our right back. I mean, fair play, got that goal in the World Cup that made us all go mental, but he'd played like 2 games for England, but for Atletico Madrid before he actually got drafted back into the England squad. I mean, for players like Trent, who got dropped, and I mean, don't even get me started on Wan-Bissaka, to see that and just he gets in so easily, it just doesn't make sense. But it's Gareth Southgate. He's picking the people that he trusts.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll probably see Kieran Trippier starting over Trent in the Euros.
You'll end up seeing Harry Winks, won't you? And Eric Dyer, two midfielders, two older midfielders.
Speaking of Eric Dyer, how shit was he the other day?
I just don't know what role he plays, mate. Like he's got no pace, has he, at all? And he's just very. I just see him as. I don't want to. I think it's hard. There's occasional players that come along, and you just think they're just donkeys out there. They're just donkey players. Like they're just clumsy. They've got no pace about them. There's nothing special about Eric Dyer. He's going to go in with the crunching challenge. But in my opinion, what does he bring to a team? No offense to it. What does he bring? If you're not going to play him as centre back, where else can you play him?
That's the thing. I don't even think he knows where his best position is. I don't think Mourinho knows. I don't think he knows. And I mean, to start off, he was just awful on Sunday. I mean, him and Serge Aurier. I mean, I know Expressions was not happy, but
Serge Aurier, Expressions likes to call Serge Aurier Sadio Mane the way he likes bombing forward.
Yeah, he scored against us in the 6-1 win, did Serge Aurier. Played like bloody prime Dani Alves against Man United in the 6-1. I mean, he played like prime Ali Sissoko in second leg on Sunday, but it's a weird one with Eric Dyer, like you said. But speaking of the England midfield, we'll play a free. I'm going to say Rice has to be in there.
I agree. I mean, he has got injured recently, which is a big shame.
Yeah. Rice. This is the toughest part of the squad for me because I actually don't know who to put in here.
I think it depends. I think the way I see it is I think you need... Grealish has got to start for me. He's got to start. I mean, I know, when you're looking for Villa, you look at how Villa have struggled. They had a great start to the season, and since Grealish has been out, I expected that they've kind of dropped off. Seen like Ollie Watkins has struggled to get service and all. I know he scored a few goals here and there, but Villa on a whole have not looked as lively. And I think Grealish, he's a captain for Villa, so he's a leader. He gives his work rate's ridiculous. He's probably England's most technically gifted player in terms of how skillful he is. I think Grealish has got to start for me. I think you'd start one of Henderson or Rice to be the anchor. But you can also put Henderson as another centre mid who's box to box. But then you've got the likes of Mount, Foden. Like you say, the midfield is absolutely stacked.
I think I forgot all about John Henderson. But in our England lineup, Will, we don't play two CDMs, lad. We play one CDM. So it's either Rice or Henderson. And then that's the thing. Do you play Grealish as a winger or do you play him in the midfield? It's a tough question because where's probably his best position? His best position for Villa is probably left wing. I mean, he isn't getting in the left wing of the likes of Rashford or Sterling or Sancho. But my midfield, I'm going to go for Rice, Henderson as that central midfielder, like you said. And then Mason Mount. He's been good this year, hasn't he? He plays well when he plays for England as well. So we'll go for Mason Mount, even though it's tough leaving Lingard out. We'll go for Mason Mount. Who are you saying?
I'd probably say the same as you. I think Rice has got to start at DM. If Henderson's fit, I'd play him just because of the work rate he brings. He's a leader, and I think England have got they've got a lot of good young talent. But I think you do need those experienced players in that have won trophies and now to win tough games. I think Henderson, if he's fit, he's got to play, in my opinion. And you know what? I'll probably say I would like to say Grealish. I'll go with you and say Mount, and I think I'll probably put Grealish on the wing instead. And my front three would be Kane, Rashford, and Grealish because I think Sterling's been. Look, Sterling's good for England, man, but I just don't like him as a player. I feel like, unless he's getting fed by the likes of KDB, crossing into the box, I think he's a pretty average finisher in my opinion. He's got the pace, but I'd rather play Grealish any day of the week over Sterling at wing.
It's been a weird season for Raheem Sterling, I think, because he started really well. He's kind of just come off the boil, but I mean, for me, my front three's got to be Rashford, Kane, and then I'm going to put Sancho in there because the numbers that he put up last year, the numbers that he's put up this year, and the fact that he's been injured twice this year. I mean, we need the creativity on the right wing if we're not going to play either Grealish or Maddison. We wouldn't even talk about. We need that creativity on the right. I'd go with Sancho, but that's our England lineups. The games are about to get back underway. Of course, you've watched a 0-0 ball fest. I've watched a 1-0 decent second half of the first half fest. But for Porto and Chelsea, what do they need to do, Will, for Chelsea either to see this 2-0 lead through, and for Porto to, obviously they need 2 away goals, which is a massive task against this well-oiled and well-drilled Chelsea side at the moment.
Yeah, I think Porto going forward, they just need a few more ideas. I think they need a few more bodies going forward. It's kind of like Marrega's up front on his own, and as soon as the wingers get on the ball, they've got no one. They've got no out ball basically. They're having to turn back, or if they're whipping it into the box, Marrega's not winning it because there's 3 Chelsea centre backs in there. So I think maybe Porto at this point, there's 45 minutes to go in the game. You're 2-0 down. Why not commit bodies forward? If you concede another, it don't matter anyway because you were going to lose anyway. So you might as well go for it and send some more bodies forward and just try and get more stress on that Chelsea defence. Yes, they are well organised. Yes, they're well structured. But if you can get some more bodies forward and put pressure on them, eventually they can't hold you out forever. So I think Porto commit more bodies forward. And if you're Chelsea, play the exact same way you did in the first half. You can go forward now and again, but you don't need that goal. As long as Porto when they go on the attack, as long as you drop bodies back and block out Porto, it's just that Chelsea basically just need to see the game out. They've been the better side, and I expect them to do that. I think Chelsea will win this game, whether they score or not. I think they'll go through without a doubt. I agree.
I think it's a big night for Chelsea as well, but an even bigger night for the likes of Bayern Munich and PSG. I mean, PSG with the chance to knock out the European champions who beat them in the final last year, and Bayern Munich with a chance to knock out the team that they beat in the final last year. I mean, it's a massive task for Bayern Munich to come back. They're halfway there, though. They're living on a prayer. It's 1-0. But for both sides, I mean, for PSG, it's tough to think of anything they need to do better because they had a pretty decent first half. They just didn't put the ball on the back of the net. Neymar had 3 or 4 opportunities, obviously hit the post, hit the crossbar. A couple of good saves from Manuel Neuer against Mbappe. But apart from that, I mean, I can't really pick anything out that PSG need to improve on. They've been by far the better side in this game. For Bayern Munich, of course, they've got the goal, but they've been second best at almost everything tonight. It's a tough one, but I think Bayern Munich, will they come through and see it? I just can't see it myself personally. I can't see them keeping PSG out for another 45 minutes. And if they conceded 1, they would then need, I think, at least 2 more goals on the night. Yeah, they would. They need another 2 goals on the night in 45 minutes, which it's Bayern Munich. They're a fantastic team, but it'd be such a tough ask. I can't see them doing it myself. However, Alaba's got the ball on the edge of the box and he flashes a shot just wide. And I mean, if they'd have scored then, I'd have had egg on my face. I think PSG will go through this tie. Will.
I think the next goal in your game is massive, to be honest, mate. I think, like you say, if PSG get that goal, Bayern automatically need 2. I think Bayern conceding 3 away goals was a big disaster for them because they knew going into the game that they have to win. They have to score at least 2 goals to win the game. Well, they have to win by 2 clear goals, basically. Unless it's 3-2 and it goes to extra time, which I think you'd be up for because it'd be a very entertaining game. But yeah, I think if Bayern get that next goal, it automatically puts pressure on PSG to push out and get another goal. But if PSG get that next goal, like you said, the game could be pretty much dead and buried because PSG could then just sit back and see the game out. But yeah, I think the Choupo-Moting goal was massive for Bayern. I thought they had to score in the first half. If they were going to go through, but it's definitely well poised in the second half to see who's going to go through that game. And
of course, your game needs a certain man to come on, certain Mediterranean to make the impact for Porto.
It does. I don't think Porto have made any change at all, to be honest, in the second half. The formation looks the same, the players look the same. So I think the Porto manager, in my personal opinion, should have made a change at half-time, change system a bit, just try and get more bodies forward and put more stress on that Chelsea defence. Like you say, bring on another attacker maybe, but 55 minutes of going in the second half. Porto look a bit more lively going forward. That you can tell they are pushing more midfielders forward, but they've got to get the ball into the box and they've got to cause problems for that Chelsea defence because it's been too easy for them in this first half.
Yeah, it does sound like that. I mean, again, I apologise that you've watched such a dead game, lad. But there's a chance in PSG. Neymar in the box, he snapped at it and it flies over the top of the crossbar. Brilliant pass from Paredes over the top of that Bayern backline. Neymar goes in, chests it down, takes it on the turn, a little bit of a snapshot, fires it over the crossbar. Early chance for PSG in the first half, but Yeah, I'm sorry that you watched such a shit game.
No, like I said, mate, it happens, doesn't it? It happens now and again. But if Porto can get an early goal, Mendy's been wiped clean out there by the Porto centre back. The ball was whipped in from a corner. Mendy went and caught a brilliant catch, and he's just been completely wiped out. I mean, it looked more like Cam Chancellor smacking over Julian Edelman in the Super Bowl, to be honest, than a Porto defender heading Mendy. But the Porto defender immediately apologised. I think it was Mbemba who took him out. But yeah, that was the closest Porto came. But a very, very good catch by Mendy, putting his body on the line there for Chelsea. And he's, I think he's winded, to be fair. So might be a couple of minutes here where the play comes to a stoppage.
Yeah, speaking of corners, Bayern Munich have got another corner. Kimmich's delivery earlier was poor. Can he get a better delivery into the box now? Comes in from Kimmich. It's a better position, and it's met by the head of Hernandez, who goes down. Alaba hits it over the bar, but it's going to be adjudged as a foul by Hernandez on, I think it was Danilo Pereira back there. Yeah. I think it's actually... No, yeah, it is. Danilo Pereira goes down, foul by the Frenchman. And Paris Saint-Germain survive again, but, I mean, Bayern Munich look a little bit more lively in the second half. They've come out with intent. Both sides, of course, they like you said, the next goal's massive. Has anybody really upped the tempo in that Porto game?
Yeah, I mean, Oliveira's trying picking the ball up every single time, and as soon as he gets it, his head's up looking forward. But Porto have got another corner here. We'll see if they can create anything from it. They've got pretty tall players, obviously Pepe. He's no stranger to scoring a goal from a corner. The ball is in towards Pepe, but it's well cleared away by Rudiger. The ball's headed away there by Jorginho again, but Porto recycle the ball. Can they get it into the box? They do. It's a really good ball into the box, headed away by Reece James. Chelsea defending so well. And Chelsea clear their lines, I think. Reece James trying to dribble the ball out, but that's a foul. A very silly foul there by Reece James. He tried to dribble it past two Porto defenders where he could have just lumped up the field and cleared his lines. He tried to do too much. He's fouled the Porto player, so Porto got a free kick here. No need for that foul there from Reece James.
What a fantastic crossfield pass from Josh Kimmich to Coman, who cuts inside. Just again, falls over. Coman takes the shot, and Jesus Christ, that is Emil Heskey-esque sort of shot. I feel like you can imagine what I'm talking about when I say Emil Heskey-esque. Takes it inside, opens his body up, and absolutely whacks it, and it goes high and wide by a long, long way. I mean, he's such a weird footballer, Kingsley Coman, because he's got the skills. Just doesn't have the end product at all. Anytime he shoots, I'm just like, that's not going in. He looks like it's like when you see a product and you think, oh, that looks mint, that, and then you open it up and it's like, oh, that was so shit. Do you know what I mean?
I know what you mean. Yeah, I know what you mean. The thing is, one of my mates who supports France national team, he's English, but he does French. He supports the French national team. He said that Coman's one of his favourite players for France. He would have him in his squad without a doubt, because of how electric he is, and he just causes problems with his pace. But I agree with you. I think I'd like to see a bit more end product from him, because if he can improve that area of his game, then what an exciting player he is. I think you could see him. He's pretty much, he's very, very similar to Leroy Sané with a bit less finishing. I think. I know you're a big fan of Leroy Sané, but Chelsea now coming forward on the attack. Golo Kante's given the ball out. Pulisic won it back. Switches the play well to, I think that's Kai Havertz. And it's Mason Mount. Mason Mount lays it off to Ben Chilwell. Chilwell puts it into box. Oh, what a chance. Pulisic was coming onto it. He can't sort his body out. The ball in by Chilwell was really, really good. But Pulisic didn't really trap the ball.
Oh, he's missed it. Oh, my God. What a miss by Neymar. The football is absolutely fantastic. Neymar picks it up inside Paris Saint-Germain's half, brings it past two players with a lovely skill move, finds Mbappe, a dink to the back post for Di Maria, chests it down, takes it past two players, and squares it. And Neymar slides in and has to make it 1-1. Completely misses the ball. And, of course, he blames Di Maria for the pass, but it was a fantastic pass from Di Maria. Did it all himself. Ball back across, and with the goal gaping, Neymar misses the ball, and Alaba puts it behind for a corner. And the corner's being taken now, and here is that man Neymar to Mbappe. Up against two defenders, Megs is Kimmich. Back to the edge of the area. Paredes slips us, gets another corner for PSG. But oh my God, what another massive chance for Neymar. And that's 5 now he's missed tonight, Will.
I know it showed the highlights at half time. He's at the bar, he's at the post. So could have had a hat trick.
Should have had that trick because that's the worst of the lot by far. Should have put that one in the back of the net. And he is going to be taking this corner again. They opted to put this one in the box. It's onto the edge of the area for Di Maria, who tries the shot on the turn. And I mean, it's only a shot that Angel Di Maria would go for. And it's gone behind an outplay for a goal kick. But I mean, PSG, how have they not scored tonight? And that's going to be a yellow card for Colin Dagba. The second yellow card of the night, obviously, David Alaba got a yellow card a couple moments ago, as we were talking. So this game is getting a little bit aggressive and tempers are flaring a little bit. Are tempers flaring in your game, or is the flame well and truly out?
There's not. I won't say there's many tempers, but Chelsea, as I mentioned, that big chance. Pulisic really couldn't sort his body out, but it was a big chance for Chelsea to get that goal to see the tie off. But Chelsea, they're pushing forward a bit more here now. Aspilicueta plays it into Reece James. Kante wanted the ball back. Kante's played pretty advanced. I've not seen Kante go forward as much as he has in the past tonight. I mean, he's been, whenever Chelsea have gone on the break, he's been the main man getting forward and trying to link up play with the forwards. So Kante's played a bit more of an advanced role tonight. But yeah, I wouldn't really say that the flares are going off here because Porto, as I mentioned, pretty similar to the first half so far, pretty flat going forward and not really offering much.
I think for Chelsea, though, of course, like we say, it's not really the most like. Obviously, they're not putting all of their fight into it because they have got that 2-goal cushion, and it just shows how.
Sorry, Chelsea for Mason Mount. I mean, I said Chelsea were breaking forward. Well, Pulisic nutmegs him, and it's once again N'Golo Kante, the man pushing forward. Plays a nice ball into Mason Mount. He's well onside. The shot. It looks like the shot's probably going to go on target, but Mbemba with a massive block to put it over for a corner. So another chance to have a Chelsea to possibly kill the tie off, but it was a good block from the defender, and it will be a Chelsea corner coming up.
I've just watched Leroy Sané do a little run down the right-hand side, and I mean, in my mind, I'm screaming at him to take on the defender, and he just doesn't take him on. And I mean, that's not the Leroy Sané we've been seeing in the last couple of years, of course. He's so direct, take his man on, beat him, get a ball into the box, and normally Raheem Sterling's tapping it at the back post. I think someone's down injured here. I'm not quite sure what's happened. The referee stopped play. I think it's Diallo gone down injured. Yeah, he has. And I think he's going to need a little bit of treatment before we get the game back underway. But like I said, Leroy Sané this season, he just doesn't look the same player. I don't know if it's because he's adjusting back to Bundesliga football, but I mean, I feel like being at one of the best clubs in the world, should be playing better than he is to lock down that right wing spot. I don't know what you think.
I mean, did he tear his Achilles or his ACL? Which one? What did he enjoy?
Yeah, it was his ACL.
Did his ACL? Did he? I think that's definitely had an effect on him. Probably just like his. I don't know. I can't really speak because I've never had an injury before, but I feel like he probably don't want to, exert his body to that full extent where it would have previously to that injury. Probably don't want to risk another injury. Might have lost a bit of confidence, because of the injury. I think that's definitely had an effect on his career because before that, I mean, when we first see in the UCL quarterfinals, he was the player that I was feared the most. I was like, make sure you keep an eye on Leroy Sané because he's the real. He was the real deal. Very, very quick. His finishing was fantastic, and he was phenomenal for City when they got the 100 points. So I feel like that's got to have an effect on him because, like you say, just doesn't seem like the same effective player like it was a few seasons ago. To say.
No, I mean he struggled massively at Bayern Munich as well. And I mean, I feel like he's in the team. I feel like if Bayern Munich had a fully fit squad, he wouldn't actually be in the starting 11 tonight because probably Serge Gnabry would have probably been in there over him. The likes of just Serge Gnabry would have got over him, but. Mitchell Bakker has come on to replace Abdou Diallo. Unfortunate injury again, but I mean, he's not the fastest player, Bakker, and up against Leroy Sané, if he can use his pace against him, of course, Bayern Munich have got a little bit of an outlet on that right-hand side. Diallo looked absolutely gutted that he's come off because he was actually having quite a decent game, to be fair to him, but injuries happen, of course. Everyone's faced injuries this season. I don't think there's a team in world football that hasn't had a massive injury this season. It's been a very congested season with so many games going on every week. Teams having to play twice nearly every single week now. maybe sometimes even 3, of course. And it's been a very, very hectic schedule for all teams. And
especially, and especially like with the way the Premier season finished and started again so quickly, players didn't really have a chance to get a good rest. It was straight into pre-season, really, wasn't it? And straight back into the action of games. So that I mean, it's pretty crazy considering like the schedules now in football. How many games there were this season? How they've had to cram it all in. Playing it like one. Well, they got rid of FA Cup replays, didn't they? Completely.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame them because this season it's not possible to have an FA Cup replay, especially for those smaller teams. Like, I know that Rotherham have got a load of games in hand because of the COVID cases that they had. Of course, they're playing. I think they were almost playing 3 times a week, but it's just not. It's not humanly possible for footballers to run around. I know they get paid a stupid amount, but to put you all on the pitch for 90 minutes for 3 times a week, it's a massive ask. And you see what happened to the likes of Liverpool, especially the likes of Liverpool. They've had all them injuries this season because of the amount of games they've been playing.
Yeah, and it's like you say, it's one of them. It's eventually the workload is going to catch up on the players. It's going to catch up on the players' bodies with how much they're running, how much, like you say, they're exerting their energy. Sometimes playing 3 games in 10 days, it's a lot to give, especially for a player that's expected to be a star man and playing 90 minutes week in, week out. It's going to have a toll on the body eventually, and it's no surprise that, like I say, many teams have had these injury crisis because it only builds up over time.
Yeah, I don't think the fact that they crammed in the World Cup qualifiers, like what was it, 2 weeks ago? Don't think that really helps either because there's just no need to play. And the World Cup's not for another 2 years. There'll be times in the future where we can get these qualifiers played. And it was like the Nations League as well. They had to cram that in at the start of the season as well for literally no reason at all. I mean, the fact that the international fixtures were even being played while we had like COVID cases going on all around the world was just stupid.
Yeah, I always thought that. I thought, well, if it's a global pandemic, then surely you can't play, fixtures across the globe. You're asking for trouble there doing that.
Yeah, the international fixtures should have just been scrapped this year and then just leave it at that because catch up on them next year.
We definitely I don't decision, mate. Yeah. By the way, some big news here. Mehdi Taremi is on for Michael Grich.
Oh wow!
So Porto, they're going all out for it now.
Well, they should win now. Now they've got Taremi on the pitch. Fantastic pass from Sané. Muller tried to chip one over Navas, and I think he's hurt himself doing that. And I think Bayern Munich have won the corner. I'm not sure. It's a really good pass from Sané inside towards Muller. Yeah, I think that's going to be a corner. Good save by Navas in the end. Strong with his right foot as he went in there. Kimpembe were beating all ends up. I mean, he's been beating all ends up tonight by everyone pressing on Kimpembe. It's been given us a goal kick. PSG have been let off there. But you said Taremi's on. Is this where Porto go for it, Will?
I mean, they've got to. There's half an hour to go in the game. Still need the 2 goals to at least take a touch at a time. It's now or never, really. There's no point Porto just doing. If they kept doing the same thing they have done for the last hour, they were never going to get a goal. So you might as well bring Sauce on, try and change the system a bit, try and make it interesting. Because you need the goals to survive. You've got your Champions League campaign hangs in the balance. You've got half an hour left. Just go for it. If you concede another goal, it doesn't matter because you're going to lose the game anyway. At least if you've tried to go out and get a goal, you leave the game with no regrets.
I think right now at the moment, both probably PSG and Bayern Munich have probably got regrets in this tie as a whole. Bayern Munich could have the no, he's offside. Oh, he's offside. Kingsley Coman was about to smack that ball into the back of the net, but Choupo-Moting's offside. The referee has called it as well. He's not even let Coman have the shot.
I should say that was a great kick from the Porto keeper. Sent Mehdi Taremi clean through. He run like a GTA character as hard as he can. He won a throw-in though. To be fair, he did win a throw-in. And now he just got in the way of his own player's pass. Musa Moreira's going to play it through, and it's hit Taremi in the leg. It's a good ball. That's a terrible ball. I'm about to say it's a good ball. It's an awful ball. Loops over everybody's head. But Porto keep it in play. They've got the overlapping man there. Can they get it into the box? Tavio, nice chip ball over the top. Into the box it goes. Comes down for Taremi. Oh, and he got a header on target. His first shot on goal, a very good header down into the ground. Not too much power on it though. Mendy gets down pretty well. Just kind of gets down, holds onto the ball pretty well. Wasn't a lot of power behind it, but at least Porto had a shot on target. At least they got the ball into the box. And a big chance there for Torreira. I mean, with the way KL talks about him, I was expecting a no-look back heel, go from the edge of the box, but it was very good, pretty good edit for him. But again, Porto, 25 minutes to go, they push on, try and get that goal. But that was, more positive play there from Porto. It's what we should have seen, an hour ago. Never mind, in the 65th minute. And now they've shown away a free kick.
A little bit more encouragement, though, for him, at least.
Yeah, at least they're trying to do something going forward. But again, Chelsea, as long as they play the way they have done for the last hour, they'll be going through to the semi-finals to face either Real Madrid or Liverpool.
Who would have thought that, though, when Frank Lampard was in charge? And I mean, they had a very good group stage. They got drawn against. Who did they get drawn against in the last round? Atletico Madrid. Who would have thought that Chelsea would have been beating them? And then, I mean, I'm pretty sure everyone expected Juventus to beat Porto. No disrespect to them. And then for them to beat Porto and to be in a UCL semi-final, and arguably probably one of their. I mean, they had a very bad start to this mid-end to the season, to be fair. So who would have thought that they'd be in the Champions League semi-final, facing up against either who did they play? Who's the other game?
The Real Madrid Liverpool game.
Thank you for that, Will.
No,
placing either Real Madrid or Liverpool in the Champions League semi-final. I mean, Chelsea-Liverpool, that'd be a really good semi-final, I think.
It'd be a throwback, wouldn't it? Because it's not the first time that we've seen. It wouldn't be the first time that we've seen Liverpool and Chelsea play in knockout stage of the Champions League. Obviously, they got the semi-final when Liverpool went on to Istanbul to win it. I believe they also played in the semi-finals, maybe. Oh no, they played in the quarter-finals when it was 7-5 in aggregate. I don't know if you remember a Brazilian called Alex Kieren.
Was that when he scored that banging free kick?
Yeah, when he smashed it in, it was like 4-4 at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea ended up winning 7-5 in aggregate. So Liverpool and Chelsea have had some very good encounters in the Champions League in the past. And I think it'd be funny as well, like if Liverpool do manage to beat Real Madrid, and I think Chelsea will win tonight, it'll be Chelsea against Liverpool in the semi-finals of the Champions League for a place at Istanbul, just like it was in 2005. So an interesting something to note there. Liverpool do end up beating Real Madrid, but obviously it's going to be a tough game. Very, very tall task for Liverpool.
Yeah, we should probably talk about those games tomorrow because those games are going to be live on the channel again tomorrow with Rowan. And I generally don't know who's doing the other game, I'm not going to lie. But Rowan will be doing his beloved Dortmund, who got a very decent result in Manchester last week, a 2-1 loss against Man City. Got the goal, a few questionable decisions, you could say, by the referee and the VAR staff, but we'll skip over those. And 2-1, a good loss for Dortmund, though.
I thought it was, yeah. I mean, I did the stream last week with Rowan, and the way he was talking, he thought that Dortmund, he thought that City were going to kind of get an easy result in the first leg and kind of kill Dortmund off. He obviously wanted Dortmund to win, but he didn't really see them getting a result that did. And to be fair, with how unlucky they got with the Bellingham goal that was ruled out, that shouldn't have been ruled out, they got robbed, basically, which is what I'm trying to say off that goal. But the fact that, they got that big away goal with Marco Reus, brilliant bowling from Haaland, it gives them some sort of hope. And, with City coming off a loss to Leeds, the heads could be down. The City are either going to react to this game, but they're going to play the same thing as they did against Leeds and feel sorry for themselves, or they're going to come into the Dortmund game wanting to prove a point. And if Dortmund at home, if they get that early goal and get raise the spirits in the team, it's not the first time I've seen City crumble in the Champions League. So Dortmund have got to be confident going into this game because the tie's not over. And I thought they did although they lost the game against City, I thought they played pretty well.
No, yeah, they did play very well, of course, and I agree with you. They got robbed. But I'd love to see a De Classica in the UCL semi-finals. If Bayern Munich can find another goal in the next 23 minutes, I'd love to see a De Classica in the UCL semi-finals. But it looks like, to me, it's probably going to be PSG versus Man City, which, again, on paper, is probably one of the best games in Europe.
I agree, and to be honest, I don't think we've ever seen that side. I don't think we've seen the modern City against PSG with the way they are now. So that'll be a real interesting time. I'll be rooting for PSG, no doubt. Hopefully Mbappe knocks him out. Because obviously, I don't know what you think, Kieren, but the last thing I want to see is City and Pep Guardiola lifting the UCL trophy. That's the one thing I don't want to see this season.
I just couldn't hack it. I mean, let them win the meaningless trophies like the Carabao Cup and the Community Shield and think they're mint.
Pulisic. Oh, the angle when someone has a shot, it looks like from the angle you're watching, it looks like the ball's going in, but actually spun away It was a very good block again by Mbemba. He's played pretty well tonight at the back for Porto. He's made a few key challenges. Pulisic was in behind, got a shot on goal. It was well blocked though and cleared away by Porto. But 20 minutes to go. Since that Taremi header, Porto have not even sniffed the Chelsea box. Chelsea played really well, as I mentioned many times tonight. They played very well defensively. But Porto, I want to see more. I want to see them commit my bodies forward, take more risks. Just get a goal, do something, make it interesting.
Yeah, and with 20 minutes left, of course, they're running out of time by the minute. But in that second game tomorrow, Liverpool versus Real Madrid, big task for Liverpool. I mean, we had a little bit of a chat about it earlier about Liverpool and how they settled last week. Do you think he'll set them up differently? Do you think he's learned a lesson from that 3-1 defeat last week, Jurgen Klopp?
I think he definitely won't be playing Navigator in the midfield again. So as I mentioned, he didn't really offer much, and he got taken off in the 40th minute, I believe. So he's definitely not going to be playing tomorrow. I think the way he'll play it, I think he'll stick with his 4-3-3. If there's one thing I know about Klopp, he's very, very stubborn. Even making substitutions in games, he leaves it till the last minute until he knows that his system's not working. If it comes with 10 minutes left in the game and his system's not working, he will leave it till 10 minutes in the game to make his first sub. So I think he'll definitely play his 4-3-3 that he likes to play. I expect a midfield three of Fabinho still in there, Wijnaldum and Thiago. Kind of a more structured midfield. But I do expect, the likes of Firmino. I think Firmino will be a better fit, as I mentioned already. I would prefer him to start up front instead of Jota. If not play all four, because I think we need. The one thing Liverpool missed was the wingers were in no man's land last week. The midfield just couldn't connect the midfield and the attack. So, if we can get a bit more creativity going, especially at Anfield, get those crosses in from Trent Andy Robertson, and just apply the pressure early on against Real Madrid. There's no reason why we can't get an early goal. And there's no reason why we can't win the game. I just worry, can we keep a clean sheet against the likes of Vinicius Junior and Benzema? And, I think Benzema is one of the most underrated strikers in the world, mate, because he's so clinical when he gets a chance, and his movement's just phenomenal.
Yeah, he's fantastic, and I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I thought that was Vinicius Junior's best game in a Real Madrid shirt last week. I mean, that is the moment that people have been waiting for him.
No, I completely agree. I mean, the signing was 16-year-old kid. People thought expecting big things. Didn't really, hit the ground running and whatnot. But to be fair to him, he's skinning that Phillips. He got a good goal. His second goal was well taken past Alisson. So fair play to me. He was definitely the thorn in our side last week. So hopefully he doesn't repeat that performance. But yeah, he looks pretty good. Like you say, people have been waiting for him to do that for many years now.
Yeah, and I mean the potential's always been there, just never really come off. But we have got some comments. Kyle said, Bayern to me look like they want to wait as long as possible to get the second goal rather than go all out to score a couple of them. I'm not gonna lie, Kyle. I feel like I agree with you. There is going to be a couple of substitutes now, though, as Jamal Musiala comes on for Alphonso Davies, who's going to come on, and then Julian Draxler's coming off for Moise Kean. Interesting substitutions there by both managers. And Chris is in the building. He said, "Hi lads, hope you well." And yeah, we're both doing fine, Chris. We hope you're all right as well. But leaving it late to score the second goal. I mean, Porto leaving it late to score both goals.
Yeah, well, just as you said that, they're about to make 3 subs, I think. But we are 73 minutes in. I would have liked to see this change maybe at, the 60th minute mark, or maybe made a couple of subs at half time. But yeah, it's looking like they're going to make 3 changes whenever the ball goes out of play next, which I believe should be now, because there's just been a foul call on Jorginho and a yellow card being given to the FC Porto players. So I think as it looks, Porto are going to make 3 subs. I expect most of those to be attacking players, but I'll let you know what players are going on when it happens.
Yeah, but with 18 minutes plus added time left in these games, I mean, my game's in the balance. Will's game probably looks a little bit over at this stage, but we'll be here till the end of the game to give you the state of the Champions League after this. Jamal Musiala's picked the ball up and moved that nicely out to Thomas Muller, though, and here is Thomas Muller. Good tackle by Idrissa Gana Gueye, though.
Marrega's been taken off for Nanu. That's the first sub being made, so pretty much just swap of strikers. Evanilson's also coming onto the pitch for Porto, and I think they're going to bring on one more player, maybe. Let's see who it is. Yeah, Luis Diaz has come on for Jesus Corona. So 3 subs there made by Porto as they try and push on. They need 2 goals in 15 minutes. I don't think it's going to happen, but we'll have to wait and see if they can get a goal in the next 5 minutes. Maybe it makes the tie interesting, but with the way Chelsea played tonight, I fully expecting to see the tie out and move on to the semi-finals.
It's the Champions League, though, Will. Anything can happen. Chris has said, yeah, not too bad, thanks. Bit frustrated, Carlisle drawing 0-0. Way to play off rivals. Newport, chances we wasted, but I'll still take 3 points off the playoffs, yeah. Carlisle, of course, had a little bit of a change in fortunes because they are now 3 points off the playoffs after looking dead and buried, as Chris said a few weeks ago. They've done well. Like I was saying, though, Will, these games, it's the Champions League, 15 minutes left. Anything can happen.
You're not wrong, mate. Like you say, anything can happen. We've seen some crazy and dramatic turnarounds in the UCL going back many years now. So, like I said, if Porto get that goal in the next 5 minutes, make it interesting. Could be a possible smash and grab on the hands here for Porto, but they've got to start committing bodies forward now. They've made the subs. I can already tell with the midfielders. I think they're playing a 2-man midfield. They've already committed loads of bodies forward, but they've got to get that ball into the area and cause some problems. Otherwise, they're going to be leaving the competition with a whimper.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they don't want to do. They at least want to go out fighting. So, I mean, like you said, get one goal, make it interesting, make it go down to that last 10 or 5 minutes, put pressure on Chelsea. We've not really seen Chelsea be on the back foot in a game. I mean, that West Brom game, I wouldn't necessarily say they were on the back foot. We've not really seen them on the back foot in any game as of yet. Speaking of being on the back foot, PSG are definitely on the back foot now. Choupo-Moting tries to win the ball back. It's not a good clearance away. Alaba sticks a foot in. Sané out to Coleman on the left-hand side. He's faced up with Colin Dagba, though. Does really well to get past him. Whips one in low. Bit of a poor cross, and Idrissa Gana Gueye can pick his pass to Neymar and clear the ball away. But Neymar loses it to Hernandez and then kicks out at him. It's going to be a free kick to Bayern Munich inside PSG's half. Bayern Munich chasing that one goal that they need. Will, do you think they're going to get it?
I mean, I don't know how your game's playing out, but I wouldn't put it past them. I think how long's left? About 15 minutes in the game?
Yeah, 15 plus added time.
Yeah, I mean, how would you say they've played in the second half, though? Do you think they've been too slow for you,
I mean, they started off the second half very well. They come out of the gates firing. They look like, we'll get the second goal. And then it's kind of just been a bit slow since then, of course. Alaba had a snapshot on the edge of the area so early in the half. Since then, they've not really had many opportunities. And I mean, I think Kyle summed it up quite well. He says, Coleman is awful. I mean, that's exactly how Kingsley Coleman's played tonight. But I was just more asking just for a quick prediction, to be honest. Do you think Bayern Munich are going to score?
I'm going to go with yes. They're going to get the goal and win the game. Let's have an interesting end to the game.
I'd like it to be because, this game, it's been a decent watch. I'm not going to lie. It's not been one of the most dull 1-0 wins or 1-0 games ever. But like we said, the standards were set by that 3-2 last week. And you don't normally have a 3-2 first leg and then a boring second leg because the team always wants to go for it. But I didn't expect there to only be one goal at this point.
No, I agree with the way like you said, with the first leg was, with all them goals. I would have also agreed. I thought there would have been some more goals, especially from Bayern. Wanting to try and get back into the game. What's happened there? I
mean, Moise Kean is through on the left hand side. He cuts back onto his right foot, and it's Coleman-esque the way he's kicked that over the top of the crossbar. It's gone so high and wide. Alexa has said the game is the reverse of the first leg. PSG missing all their chances. The Germans have been shockingly inefficient. That is also true. Watching Neymar cry be fantastic. I mean, yeah, nobody likes Neymar, do they? Also, Tuchel pulling off a proper masterclass in defending at the moment. You said that earlier, of course, didn't you?
Yeah, he's got his tactics spot on tonight. He really has. And since he's got a Chelsea, when they got rid of Lampard, I was so surprised how quickly Tuchel, got his plans through to the players and how he wants to play. But fair play to him, he's been brilliant since I hired him, and he's got it spot on tonight.
Mbappe is through on goal, 1-1 with Neuer, and he whacks the ball home. The flag's not gone up. Now it's gone up.
Offside?
I mean, the flag's gone up now. The referee's calling for an offside. Mbappe smashed the ball home. We're going to see it now. Oh, it's a tight one. They'll have to get the lines out for this, I think.
How do they do it in the UCL, though? Because I saw there were a decision made the other week where they kind of give the benefit of the doubt to the striker.
Well, that is going to be a controversial one. I think the referee's going to... I think VAR are checking it. I'm not sure. The VAR have disallowed the goal.
Wow.
Oh, that is harsh. I feel like that's going to cause a little bit of controversy. I mean, I've only seen it from one angle. Leroy Sané, though, skips past, I think it was Paredes in midfield, little bit more urgency from Bayern Munich now. That little disallowed goal seems to have woken up. But I mean, Mbappe is in again. He's one on with the goalkeeper. I mean, Theo Hernandez is getting back, but he squares him up. Fantastic defending from Theo Hernandez back there. But this game is now end-to-end, back and forth. It's picked up massively in the last couple of minutes. And Bayern Munich now coming forward again with Pavard. Here's Kimmich.
I'm going to say, you said the game's picked up. I can't say I can relate, lad. The main moment that's happened in my game, Thiago Silva's going to have me cramp. So a very, very exciting moment for me there. Not much else happening.
I mean, yeah, it's been a pretty shit game for you tonight.
It's not been great. It really hasn't. It's been a 0-0 ball draw. You can check the stats yourself. It's been a bit crap, really. But it's usually because I'll appreciate watching Champions League football because when the summer comes there'll be no football for a few months. So I'm not taking football for granted now. Especially what happened after that.
There will be football. We've got the Euros, mate.
Genuinely forgot, mate. I genuinely forgot.
We've got the Euros in the summer. I'm not sure how or what we're doing to cover it on the Sports Corner, but yeah, just keep in touch with the Twitter and the YouTube channel. I'm sure we'll cover it, and I'm pretty sure MLS streams are starting up soon. With Kieren now, he's taken mantle of the MLS streams, and hopefully those can do as well as the normal watch songs do because. Just trying some new stuff. Of course, the A-League thing was absolutely fantastic, but MLS is a different kettle of fish, and hopefully it has the exact same effect that the A-League does. Yeah,
and I think the good thing, MLS is definitely growing in terms of popularity, which I think is good. Just for well, they call it soccer, don't they, in America? I think just for soccer in general, it's good because for many years it was looked upon a league where players would go. To pretty much retire and see the last few years of the career and get a nice payday. I think now you're seeing it. I think you're seeing more players in general when they've still got many years left in the tank, like going over there and playing in MLS. So it's good news for them, and like you say, it's more football to watch, I guess. Yeah, and I mean more watch-alongs for us to do for Kieren to do because I think Kieren's going to be the person that wants to do the MLS streams and does the MLS streams. Kyle did say though the same thing happened in the first half. Ref put his flag up straight away, but Mbappe was clear onside. This is what I was talking about when Mbappe was clearly onside and the referee stuck his flag up. But there he actually allowed Mbappe to put the ball in the back of the net for sticking his flag up. So there's just no consistency in the onside offside calls, whether they can be played on or whether they can be played on not played on. Seriously, it's a long ball downfield and it's an awkward one for Boateng to deal with, and he does really well to head it back to Neuer. And I mean. PSG are currently 9 minutes away from knocking out the European champions out of the competition, Will, and Chelsea probably about the same distance away from becoming Champions League semi-finalists. Yeah, I think it's done, mate. I think this game is dead and buried. 7 minutes to go. I've not seen enough from Porto at all since they brought the subs on. They've done absolutely nothing. They were standing fantastically well, and has he got a flick on by Navas? The best moment of the second half by far for Bayern Munich. He picks it up and finally goes direct at Bacca, takes the shot across goal. And is it a fingertip save from Keylor Navas? I mean, the ball's always going wide. I don't even think he touches it. Just goes right across the goal and out of play for a goal kick. But finally, he started to run a little bit more direct. And I pointed it out against Mitchell Bakker. He's got the pace on him. He's got him if he wants to, if he runs at him direct. But now PSG might have the chance, and Moise Kean squares up Hernandez. Plays it to Di Maria, back onto his left foot, shoots, good block. Neymar's offside, and Neuer makes a save anyway. But yeah, Neymar's offside. Again, there, PSG so quick on the counter attack, but one end to the other, this game's getting very intense, and I can see it's having its effect on both players. Tempers are flaring. These two teams are by far the two top teams in the world at the moment, and Tubbs has said, whatever happens, still proud of Bayern. No Lewandowski, no Goretzka, no Sula, but still grinding the hell out of PSG. And I think that's fair to say because they haven't had a good game. They are still well and truly in the tie, though, without their main man and Goretzka and Sula, of course. Because if Lewandowski was fit, I think this game would have been done in the first leg. I'm not going to lie. The amount of opportunities that Choupo-Moting had, of course, he scored the 2 goals in the tie, but the chances that he's had, and he's going to have another one here. He's going to fall to Musiala on the edge of the box, tries to put it through the legs of one player. Probably should have just smacked it, but it's cleared away
Here's Muller, though, to Koeman inside the box. Still Koeman. Tries the shot. I think he's going to win the corner. He is going to win the corner. Bayern Munich. 6.5 minutes left. It's getting interesting.
Oh, dear me. Once again, nothing really happened.
I feel like this is like the ending to the game that I probably wanted, but for you, I think you probably wanted a more entertaining end to the game. But there's going to be a substitution for Bayern Munich. Javi Martinez is on. Choupo-Moting's off, which is interesting. They need a goal, and they're taking Eric Maxim Choupo-Moting off. A very strange substitution. I mean, I'm not sure I agree with that. And Javi Martinez also almost glanced the ball home. It was probably a couple of inches away from it hitting his head and hitting the back of the net. But like you said, Will, he has got the goal tonight, and he's probably their main aerial threat going forward, and he's actually been taken off.
Very harsh, in my opinion. I mean, we've had another sub here, Mason Mount, to come off for Hakim Ziyech. 5 minutes to go again. It's probably just to give Mason Mount a bit of extra rest. He has played pretty well tonight, Mason Mount. He's got himself in some good areas. And, he's had a few opportunities, but again, nothing major. I mean, there's not been many major attempts for either side, really. But
I mean,
just get the ball into the box. Ball's into the area, headed away by Thiago Silva again, who's been a rock at the back tonight. He's won nearly every single header. You know, even though he's only 6 foot tall as well, Thiago Silva, his reading of the game is so good. It's just so good, and like you said, he's just the Porto cross that come into the box tonight. Thiago Silva is judged very, very well, and he's cleared them with ease, really. And it's one of the main reasons why Porto have not managed to do anything.
I think Javi Martinez might genuinely be playing as a number 9. Here's Kingsley Coman, though. Lovely burst of pace. Dinks one in to the back post for Pavard. Pulls it back. And Martinez back to Muller. Brilliant block again by PSG. And someone's offside in there. But bodies on the line defending from PSG there. Every man back. Blocking it with every single part of their body. By their hand, of course. But another massive chance Bayern Munich. And I mean, I genuinely think Javi Martinez might be playing as a number 9 up front, Will. Which is somewhere we've probably not seen him before.
I wish Porto would try and do something like that, because they need a couple of goals, and like I said, they've not gambled as much as I thought they would tonight, Porto. So fair play to Bayern, they need that goal. Why not chuck him up front to win a few headers and whatnot?
Yeah, and you mentioned Thiago Silva, his former team are 3.5 minutes plus added time away from knocking out the European champions. But that is a massive touch by Koeman. And he looked clean through on goal, but Keylor Navas rushed out to clear it. And now there's a chance for Mbappe to run at Boateng one-on-one, and it's going to be a foul by Neymar on Hernandez, though. It's a foul and a free kick to Bayern Munich inside their own half. Yeah, definitely a foul by Neymar. Hands all over for Hernandez. Lucas Hernandez, as he throws him to the ground. Long ball downfield, though. Koeman picks it up on the edge of the area. Good work by Koeman. Gets it to Kimmich, lets it run across his body. Out wide to Benjamin Pavard. Tries the early cross in. Muller was there, tried to flick it on, couldn't get a foot on it. Comes back to Kimmich. What can he do with the ball now, Kimmich? Plays it out wide to Pavard again. And plays it back. But, I mean, 3.5 minutes left in your game, well, I'm guessing?
Yeah, mate, just under 2 minutes now of normal time. I'm not sure what the added time will be. But that's almost a mistake there by the Porto defender, but he gets rid of it well. But yeah, mate, just about I'd probably say about 2 or 3 minutes added time, so you're probably about 4 or 5 minutes to go in the game until.
Yeah, it probably can't come soon enough for you as well. PSG are going to make another substitution as well. Ander Herrera is going to come on to replace Di Maria. A little bit more support in that midfield area, where at the moment they're getting a little bit overrun. Paris Saint-Germain. Marquinhos is in the crowd, clapping on his PSG teammates, and at the moment they're pulling off an absolute masterclass in this 2-legged tie. Tubbs says Muller plays false 9, I guess. The thing is, Javi Martinez is genuinely up there as a striker. So yeah, Tubbs said, "Oh shit, Martinez is playing number 9." It's weird. Maybe they're just both up there. I mean, at this moment for Bayern Munich, it's chuck everyone forward and see what who gets their head on something, because that's exactly the style of football they're playing. Javi Martinez, of course, he's huge, he's strong, he can win headers, and How good would it be if he got the goal that won him game?
He got the winning goal of all people, Javi Martinez.
Well, here's Muller out to Alaba, plays one into the box and comes back to Coleman. Back across to Muller, takes a heavy touch. Still Muller. Here's Musiala, passes it straight to Neymar, and now there's a race on between Hernandez and Mbappe, and Mbappe beats him to it. And there's a man free in the middle. It's Neymar. Neymar for on goal. Neuer out so quickly to clear out of play for a throw-in to save Bayern Munich and keep them in the tie again. He slides out of his goal so quickly. Of course, we know he's a sweeper keeper, and he comes out sliding and slides the ball out of play for a throw-in to keep Bayern Munich in this game. Poch must be thinking, what the fuck is his Hansi doing? I mean, yeah, I'm thinking, what the fuck's Hansi Flick doing, to be fair, because keep promoting on the pitch. He scored the goal. But you know what? Fair play to him. He's trying something, and he's got 30 seconds plus probably a few minutes added time to try and get another goal in this game, or Bayern Munich will be out of the Champions League. 20 seconds left.
Oh, I want to see a goal. It'd be nice to see any goal.
There's a foul in there on Kimmich by, I think it's Ander Herrera who's going to get the yellow card. Bayern Munich, we are now, the 90 minutes is up, and we're going to have 4 minutes of added time for Bayern Munich to try and find a goal in this second leg. And here is Leroy Sané on the right, up against Moise Kean, cuts inside, plays one into the box, header onto it by Coleman, and it goes the opposite direction to where he's aiming and out of play for a goal kick. I mean, that sums his night up so far, Kingsley Coleman. Goes for the header, and instead of glancing it in, heads it 3 or 4 yards wide. Tubbs said, oh, well, Bayern bowing out. I mean, you've still got a couple of minutes, Tubbs. 3.5 to be exact before you're officially out. And at the moment, the way the game's going, you've got the majority of the ball. You're pushing, of course, but got to be wary of that PSG press. And I mean, how much added time in your game, Will?
40 minutes, mate. And Chelsea almost got a goal there just to top it all off. Pulisic, who's been in behind a few times tonight, Ziyech with a lovely ball with the outside of his foot, plays it into Pulisic. He gets a shot in, but the keeper comes rushing off his line, makes a brilliant save, and the defender's eventually clear. But again, Chelsea, with Porto kind of pushing forward a bit more, Chelsea have just had a few chances.
Neymar, what a chance. Brilliant defending. Sorry about that, Will.
No.
Neymar, clear through on goal. Lucas Hernandez, I keep getting them mixed up. Lucas Hernandez tonight, been fantastic defensively for Bayern Munich. Again, stops Neymar from squaring it to Mbappe, who would have definitely tapped that in for 1-1. And it's going to be a corner to PSG with about 2 minutes left. Mbappe's looking in the middle, looking bemused, and he looks bored, to be fair. I mean, he probably wants this game over as well. Here he is, though, Mbappe. Good defending by Muller back there. Bayern Munich need to get it forward as quickly as they can, but they give the ball away to Neymar. Tries the skills.
Let's get it in the box, for crying out loud. Balls into. It's an acrobatic. Oh my God! What a goal! Oh, he's made it to Remy. He scored a bicycle kick. He has scored a bicycle kick, Karen. For the second consecutive UCL stream that I've done, I saw Olivier Giroud score an absolute screamer. I've now seen Mehdi Taremi score an absolute worldie of a goal. Edouard Mendy could do nothing about it. It's flown into the top corner. And with a minute to go, Porto left it late. I've said it all night, get the ball into the box, do something. They've got it into the box, and Mehdi Taremi, Kieran's going to be loving it. Absolutely phenomenal finish. And with a minute to go, Porto need another goal to take this extra time. It's a fantastic finish. What a goal.
Leroy Sané, Mitchell back has slipped. Sané back across the goal. And Navas smothers the ball. It wasn't a good ball in by Sané. But the slip by Mitchell Bakker gave Sané the space he needed to maybe try and even get a shot off. Looks across the box to see his options. There's men coming in at the back post. Tries one across the bottom of the box. And it's saved by Keylor Navas. But
surely not. Ball into the box. Taremi goes down! Well, and it was Ed Milson that went down. What's he done? Oh, he's given a yellow card because the Porto player was complaining. I think the Porto player went down. Nothing's really happened. He's just trying to do anything he can to win a penalty in the last minute. But I mean, Rudiger put his hands around him, but he's gone down like a sack of bricks. There's no need to go down like that when he's barely touched him. But I'll tell you what, the goal from Taremi was ridiculous, Kieran.
It's too little, too late, wasn't it?
Too little, too late. I said all night, Just they needed to take more risks, get more balls into the box. And when they eventually get the ball into the box, a goal happens. They just took so long to get anything going. They didn't take, like I said, far too late. Taremi's got the yellow card. He was the one complaining. But there was 4 added minutes. Went out 4 minutes 57, and the referee blows the full-time whistle. That is that. Chelsea, despite a late scare, thanks to a Mediterranean wonder goal, Chelsea advance to the next round. They advanced to the semi-finals. They lost 1-0 the night. They won 2-1 on aggregate. And Mediterranean's bicycle kick could not save Porto. They move on to face either Liverpool or Real Madrid in the semi-finals. I think is your game over?
Being over. Bayern Munich are out of the Champions League.
Wow.
Paris Saint-Germain have survived the game in France. And Neymar and Mbappe will be going to their second consecutive Champions League semi-final, and PSG advance against the champions, well, the ex-champions, Bayern Munich. What a tie for PSG. I mean, the Bayern Munich players look dejected, and I mean, they've only got themselves to blame for a poor performance in the first leg. Fair play PSG. They were absolutely incredible in the first leg. Second leg, defensively sound again. Mbappe's winking and giving the thumbs up to the camera. Can't blame him. What a phenomenal player. What a phenomenal team. And you know what? Fair play to them. They do deserve it. PSG overall deserved to go through. They took their chances while Bayern didn't. This was one of those games when the referee was totally shit, but it didn't impact the quality or justice of the game, and I think I agree with that. But now, PSG, Neymar and Mbappe will be waiting for the winner of Dortmund and Man City. Of course, could be a potential replay of Dortmund and PSG from last year, or we could see potentially what we all want to see in Man City versus PSG in the next round, Will.
Yeah, I think that's the tie that everyone will want to see. Just cut to the scenes by on my TV, the Bayern score, PSG players celebrating. But yeah, I think it's the tie everybody wants to see. But I wouldn't write Dortmund off just yet. I think they can still definitely go through. But if PSG do play City with the form that both sides are in, what a tie that would be. And Chelsea players and Porto players are kind of getting into a bit of a scrap here. After the full-time whistle, Rudiger is chatting shit to one of the Porto players. I don't know why. I think it's just Porto being very solid that they're out of the competition. I think Porto wanted a penalty in the last minute. It wasn't given. It wasn't a penalty in my opinion. They kind of went down. The player went down out of desperation to try and get that penalty in the last minute. But yeah, Porto, they can complain on the light. They had 90 minutes to get a goal, and if they play like they did in the last 5 minutes for the entire game, they could have made it a good game tonight. But they lose, and Chelsea go through. But yeah, as you mentioned, the Man City. The Man City PSG game is what everyone's looking forward to, I think, and we'll see if it actually happens tomorrow.
Yeah, what a moment for Mauricio Pochettino as well. In his first real big task as a PSG manager was to win this game against Bayern Munich, and he's come through with flying colours, I think. Some have said, I want City to go through, PSG will eat Dortmund alive. I'd probably agree with that, but do you know what? Well, I think, to be fair, you didn't get the best match, but you still got the same amount of goals in your game that I did, and I think it was a decent, nice work for both of us tonight. I think definitely you'd have preferred to watch a more entertaining game, but you were stuck with what you got. To be fair,
yeah, one of them. I knew it was going to be a boring game just with the way Chelsea won the first 2-0. They were never going to come out and attack. There were no need to, and that's why I thought Porto, would try and give something going forward. But I didn't see anything until the 90th minute from them, so that was a big shame.
Well, yeah, that's that tonight, boys. Thank you very much for joining me, Will, of course. Do make sure you're back here, same time tomorrow, for the other 2 Champions League games, which will be Dortmund versus Manchester City, which Manchester City lead 2-1 on aggregate, but Dortmund do have that crucial away goal, and Liverpool versus Real Madrid. It's 3-1 to Real Madrid on aggregate. Of course, Liverpool do also have that crucial away goal. Join Rowan and, mystery guest tomorrow for that game. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining us. Commiserations, Tubbs. We hope to see you all in the watch along tomorrow. Do have a nice day, and me and Will will see you later.